out on Amazon. He was the host of the famed podcast, legendary podcast, The Church of What's Happening Now. He has his own podcast now with Lee Syatt called The Check-In. I'm grateful to catch up today with one of my heroes, Mr. Joey Coco Diaz.
What do you say?
Jelly roll?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is Jelly Roll. Like Jelly Roll, every time he wins an award, he gets up there and he's like, I just want to thank. Right now, there's somebody stuck under a bridge. There's somebody out there who's got a size 11 foot and a size 8 tennis shoe. And I just want to say you can live your dreams. Dude, every time they call his name for every time Jelly gets an award, man, he's so full of feelings, bro. He gets up there and he's just like, I want to tell you that I was a maitre d' in a macaroni grill, and now I'm a Grammy Award-winning artist. Like sometimes it's just like, bro, if they even like at a I feel like even at Chipotle, if they just call his name to come get his order, he goes out there, he picks it up. He's like, I want to let every illegal alien in this motherfucker know. In 40 days, and with only 90 singing lessons, you can win a fucking American Music Award.
90 singing lessons.
Dude, it was better last night when I did it.
Oh my God, I was dying. I was dying in my sleep.
He was
to the T. It's fucking crazy. Everybody was dying last night.
Some people do them real good. Yeah, Joey Diaz, man, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too.
You too, man. That was fun last night.
Yeah, I just seen you before years.
I know,
Just the pandemic, man. I hadn't seen anybody.
Yeah, I realized, it's so funny. I didn't realize how much I missed seeing you until I got out of the car, out of the Uber at the mothership. And I was like, is Joey here? And they're like, yeah. And I literally, my legs, like I ran upstairs.
I was so happy. The first person I asked when I got there, I'm like, what's fucking Peter?
Yeah.
I'll be here later. Now, man, we haven't seen each other. It's been it's fucking crazy, man. What happens to life sometimes.
Yeah, has it been good? Have you been feeling good in Jersey? It seems like everything's good. You look great.
The first fucking year was a struggle because I was lost. I was fucking lost. I was like, what I was trying to do was, honestly, was just figure out what happened the last 30 years. After when the pandemic hit, we were all gung-ho. We were very all gung-ho.
Oh, yeah.
But like by May of the pandemic, I was like, what the fuck happened? I came here, I auditioned for Making Sure, and I don't know what happened. Like, here we are. Yeah. Movies, talking to this guy, talking to that guy. The store at the end, before the pandemic, it was something that you'll never ever see again. I still remember I would do spots and then go to the kitchen. I would my spot and just sit for a minute and look out into the bar area and stuff. And it would be like celebrities, MMA people, the Clippers. It was something every night. It was just too overwhelming. Yeah. Every time you left the store on Tuesdays or Thursdays, you got in your car and you had to fucking drive 30 minutes just to decompress.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre was hanging out every night before the fucking thing. He was coming into the store every night. It was just the scene that was, hard to believe. We had our own fucking thing. Kennison, Dice, those guys had their thing, and we had our thing.
It's really true. I didn't realize it either until I went back, I've gone back over the past 2 years, and it's like, it's not even the same thing anymore. It was like a lightning striking when everybody was there, dude. And dude, the lineup sometimes, like on a Tuesday night,
I still have them. I saved everything. I would clip the lineup. I would take a picture of it or something and go, yeah, this is where you were with these guys. I want to see somebody try to take something away from me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, you didn't do it. Listen, bitch. This is these lineups in 2019. What about the lineups? Well, 2009, I wasn't there. But in 99, I was there. And I remember looking at those lineups, and they weren't good, but you had fucking animals, like 3 of them. There on the lineup. It wasn't like 9 motherfuckers coming at you. From Ali Wong to you to Dalia. It was a cavalcade every Tuesday and Thursday. And everybody got along.
Whitney,
Bert, Joe, Segura, fucking Tripoli,
Brandon,
Eddie Bravo,
Owen Smith.
It was fucking crazy what was down there.
It was crazy. Bro, they had MMA fighters that weren't even comedians fucking doing 20 minutes.
It was fucking crazy.
Eddie Bravo was doing like 40 fucking minutes.
Fucking crazy. You think about it. People walked in there, and it's like they got high.
Yeah.
As soon as people walked in, it's like walking into the mothership. You know, you walk in, and you just take it. You just take it. And this is, you know, I didn't do it for one summer. I did it for 30 fucking years. So now I got to figure out where they took this.
Yeah.
You know, where the fuck did they take me? I mean,
yeah, just to look at that lineup and be like, it doesn't even feel like you're really the person doing it.
no. You ever see Old God, You Devil, one of those Old God movies?
Is it like a black movie or
no?
not?
No. George Burns.
Oh, yeah.
God, and he talked to people.
Yeah, you got the Coke bottle or whatever.
And it's really weird. You know, those things there. Fucking, one of the guys he went to, I'll never forget. This is way before I got to comedy. Way before I got to comedy. I started watching, you know, I like movies. And there was one particular guy that the guy was a musician and he was struggling. And he was like a Bruce Springsteen type guy. And then he came to him and he fucking shut out the light because he was the devil. He plays the devil.
Oh, he plays the devil.
He cuts a deal with you to sell your soul.
Oh, God, you devil. I remember the gods must be crazy. Was that him?
No, that's okay. That's why you get confused with the Africans and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like. The guy during the movie after he became the star, he would go, what the fuck? And then he would go to a restaurant. After he knew the devil took his soul, he would go to a restaurant and see the girl he was engaged with. And now he was about to have a baby. And this was his life. Like, it's fucking crazy. And that's
How you living, baby?
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, did I just do that? Why do people...
I'm just coming to my consciousness after
a
long hibernation.
And it was just my life. So that was the first year in Jersey. It was just coming down, coming down. I was coming down. I had committed to coming down and seeing what life was like with the fucking the sticks, you know, and started going to softball games, basketball games with my daughter.
Were you playing or you were just coaching or what?
I don't even coach. I just sit there, I get high, and I sit there and watch.
Oh, yeah, but still.
Fucking girls. You know, it's so funny. I used to go to my father-in-law's house in Nashville. That motherfucker's always watching girls softball. And I would look at him and go, I'm not even going to say nothing to my wife, but this is the most pedophilia fucking thing ever. An old guy watching girls softball. Well, guess what? I became that fucking old guy. Now I go to her games. I go to basketball games. You know, there's so much. Listen, man, I for me to get into comedy, I lost a family. I lost a daughter. You know, she's 34. I haven't talked 30 fucking 4. Like, this was part of the whole, like, what happened? Like, I left Boulder when she was 5. And now she's 30 fucking 4. We haven't spoken in 20 years.
No way.
20
really?
Fucking years. 20. Yeah, it's got to be 20 years now.
Are there times where it just hits you and it just hurts sometimes?
It really hurt in the beginning. For years, it really took me. Part of the addiction and all that shit was that. And then I made peace with it. I knew that this wasn't going to work. It wasn't in the cards. You got to move on. And I had this, and God gave me a second chance. And they threw another girl at me. And I'm like, what am I going to do here? So I said, let me sink in, you know, and fucking be a dad. I got a second chance to do this the right way this time. And this is what I'm going to do.
And that was a real thought in your head. You're like, I got this. This is God giving me a second chance.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've gotten, Theo, how many second chances have I got?
Bet a decent amount.
So some second chances you got to jump on and go, you know what? This ain't going to happen again.
Yeah.
I can make peace with myself. You know, I heard things. I wasn't a good dad. I heard tons of shit from my ex-wife. And now I'm living it. You know, now I'm living. I got a nice house, cars, you know. I'm not a jet setter, you know that. I'm not a BMW guy, nothing. I'm just happy and comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I retire in 4 fucking years. My daughter collects Social Security for 3 of those years. The ones I didn't get when my mother died. So everything comes full fucking circle, man.
Oh, really? So Social Security, you get it for how long?
So when my mother died, I didn't get Social Security. Because they said she didn't work on the quarters. She had a business. So I had no money coming in when I was a kid, you know, for all those years. And it's weird now. I got a letter about 6 months ago about retiring and all this shit with benefit. And I'm like, I don't want to retire. I want to keep slinging dick. I feel great to go out there. I'm not in the mood to go on planes every weekend.
No, it's a lot. It's a young man. It's not a young man's game.
It's a young man's game.
But it
really is.
It's not even that you can't do it. It's just, can you put up with it? It's like the stress. It just wears on you. And you did it for so long. That's what people. And I'll forget sometimes, Joey, how long I did this shit for. I'll like be going to the airport and be like, fuck, I just cannot do this. I cannot get on a plane. And people are like, what are you talking about, man? But part of my brain is just like, I don't know what time when I wasn't going to the airport.
Yeah. Or wasn't getting a car for a fucking haul. My thing was this. I dreaded the road.
Yeah.
Until I got in the Uber.
Until you got in the what?
Uber.
Yeah.
Once I get in the Uber and I got an edible with me and I'm headed to fucking LAX, look out, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Look out.
Come out of friendly sky.
That's what happens to me. It's the lead up. Mm-hmm. It was towards the last year. I would wake up in the middle of nights going, I can't believe I booked this trip to this place.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have taken that week off. And I shouldn't have booked this. I can't believe I got to go to this town this week.
Yeah, like fuck, he's Tickle Town or something. There's always something. You're like, fuck. Puerto Rico. I did a fucking weekend in Puerto Rico one time. And I was like, what the fuck? Some new joint they put. I was like, I never should have went. 9 people fucking showed up to a couple gay dudes over there. I think it was like a sex laundering or whatever, but I didn't do anything. But I went and, I tried to do my best comedy, but just fucking unreal, bro.
Now, we've been doing this for a long time.
Some of the shit.
And it's like I just went back to Jersey and I was like, to top it off, I hadn't lived in Jersey in 40 years.
You got a driveway over there?
Yeah. Driveway, fucking backyard. I got raccoons.
Yeah.
I got a raccoon that will not leave me the fuck alone.
Really?
And he's become like friends. He's like a buddy now. Like he just comes, he tries. I put 2 bricks on the garbage. He looks at me at night like, motherfucker, you got me again. Then he leaves. I put a piece of nicotine gum in that motherfucker. I didn't see him for a week. That motherfucker was running up and down fucking my street with nicotine in him. But, I live in a great neighborhood. It's quiet. I live around the corner from Jimmy Florentine.
Oh, yeah. He's an awesome guy.
Awesome guy. But, I mean, that's a week down. You go down there, you're like, whoa. I got to learn how to fucking navigate this shit.
Go down where, to his house?
No, to my house. Like when I moved down to this place.
Oh, it was quiet.
I'm an hour out of New York City. I'm an hour 15 out of New York City. I'm an hour where I was raised from. North Bergen, right across the city.
Mm-hmm. Where James J. Braddock is from?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I used to shovel his driveway.
You're lying.
When we were kids.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and his son was a fucking cop. And yeah, that's the park there, J.J. Braddock Park. They just put a beautiful statue up there. That neighborhood was rocking. When we were kids, not only did he live in town, J.J. Braddock, but fucking the other guy, Jethro's father.
Jethro Tull?
No, Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies.
That dude had a father?
Yeah.
Bro, anybody could have made that dude. Bro.
Jethro was a bad motherfucker.
Wow.
So,
dude,
yeah.
You saw James J. Braddock when you were a kid?
Yeah, like 10, 12. We'd go to Hudson County Park, and one day somebody said, go up there. He would just give you like $10 to shovel in front of his house, like fucking when it snowed. So I only went up there like once or twice. It was way out of my neighborhood.
He probably didn't know it was snow. He probably was a snow globe. He got hit somewhere.
That dude was fucking tough, bro.
Oh,
That dude's tough. I saw some tapes of him. That dude was Irish, fucking longshoreman. He was fucking, he'll fight you with one fucking hand, those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, James J. Braddock Park. Right
Damn, dude, that's one of my favorite movies, dude. I've probably watched that movie maybe 12 times.
I love that movie. When I saw that movie, I was crying up a storm. The funny thing was, I got in trouble for that movie. Listen to this. I'm at the Longest Yard premiere.
Mm-hmm.
What the longest fucking yard premiere?
That you're in, so that is
right. So I walk into my seats, I sit down, and the last seat is open. Sitting there with my wife, we're talking about shit. And all of a sudden, right before the movie starts, fucking Cameron Crowe sits next to me. And on his sleeve, he's got North Bergen. Did you see the jacket he made for Braddock when he was shooting that movie? He made like a fucking great jacket. He sat next to me, man. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is Gladiator doing next to me? I didn't say nothing.
Cameron Crowe, so that's the guy that made Gladiator?
Russell Crowe. I'm sorry.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. It's Russell Crowe sitting next to me, the guy who played J.J. Braddock, you know?
Oh, really?
And he had the jacket on.
Nuh-uh.
And as the movie ended, I couldn't take it no more. The Longest Yard fucking ended. Everybody's clapping. The producers for The Longest Yard are sitting in front of me. And I turned to fucking Russell and I go, yo, that's the fucking movie of the year right there. And he looked at me and the producers looked at me. I'm supposed to be pushing The Longest Yard. But I'm telling him this is the fucking movie of the year.
Cinderella Man.
And he started laughing his ass off. You're from North Bergen. We started giggling. And then because my friends told me when he was shooting the movie, they would see him at different delis. He was doing different delis around fucking town.
Just checking them out.
Checking them out. Whatever.
Wow.
Promos, stuff like that. So.
I love that movie, man. I love that movie. And that's one of the reasons I have like this. I mean, Dustin is fighting in Jersey coming up.
2 weeks.
Islam, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
Yeah, and so part of me is like, I'm all like tying it in my head. I'm like, dude, when he told me that, I was like, dude, it's like James J. Braddock, bro. It's like Cinderella Man.
When are you coming up?
I'm going to come up the day before.
Friday?
Yeah, I got a show Friday.
Where?
At Beacon.
Well, maybe before the show, I'll take you to J.J. Braddock Park.
No way.
Yeah, fucking, we'll go to the park, we'll eat. Over there, they got good fucking food.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I would love to, dude.
They got a fucking place called Tapas right down the block from there. An Italian place. That's tremendous. Spaghetti with little meatballs. Anywhere you go. And if not, we go up to Rudy's. Forget about it.
Everything's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny where I live. There's great food. I mean, fucking. I brought Rogan down there. His head almost blew up. They got everything down there. And it's so weird. Like, you leave there going, I take Leo all the time. He loses his fucking mind.
Who's Leo?
Lee. I take Lee. When he comes down, when he comes down, I take him different places.
That little fucking walkie-talkie. I saw him the other night, dude. He was fucking dude. That
walkie-talkie.
That little fucking gumball machine,
That
brother. That
motherfucker is killing me, dog.
The fucking Jewish Christmas present. That little fucking.
God. And he's doing comedy. And he's doing great with it.
Yeah, he's been doing it, I think, almost 5 years now.
Yeah. He goes on the road.
He's opening up for people. Does he close yet? I know he's opening up for people.
Yeah, he opens up Rogan, not Rogan.
Yeah.
Josh Wolf.
Yeah, Josh Wolf. Yeah, that's when I saw him, Josh Wolf, and Jacob Wolf the other day at a clothing store. But then, me and Lee went up to the mothership one night. Yeah, he was excited, dude. I'll never forget that time. I think it might have been the first time I came on you guys' podcast, and in the beginning there was something in the headphones. It was like, Lee, I'm hearing like a sound in the headphones. He's like, I'm trying to fix it. So he's over there. I think he was like looking on his phone trying to figure out the whole board is in front of him or whatever. Fast forward 2 hours, dude. I think we did some mushrooms or something. Lee is unconscious or semi-unconscious. I don't want to say he was unconscious, but he wasn't associated with you and me, and we were the only people in the room. So he's over there, and he's like, and I hear this sound in the headphones again, and it's like, this time it was him making like a wheezy. He had like some HVAC issues going on or something. That motherfucker.
That was the thing that really killed me. I gotta be honest.
Like, if you hit a popcorn bag that's been fucking good, that's cooked to the max, bro.
Oh yeah. That's what he sounded like.
Yeah, just when that first kind of. Well, what killed you? Sorry I interrupted you.
No. You know what fucking killed me, man? Those 8 years of that podcast with Lee, that was rough. Like, I didn't know how rough it was till I stopped doing it.
Like, what do you mean keeping up every week by having a party every week, you mean?
Fucking, what party? It was a nonstop party.
Yeah. Oh, y'all were Neil Armstrong and that other guy who fights people.
We were fucking,
Buzz Aldrin.
We were doing 2,000 milligrams, mushrooms, Vikings, whatever people dropped in that office, fucking, what's the therapy people do?
Oh, ketamine therapy?
Ketamine.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing ketamine in there.
Y'all put Owen Benjamin into the woods. So you got to fucking put that dude in a blender.
There was a couple people that wanted to blend, including myself.
Dude, yeah.
Fuck, I put myself in a blender. I was mixed goods for fucking a year after that. When I got home, when I moved to Jersey, I moved to August, right? August 19th. And we stayed in the corporate housing till my house was ready.
But you were building a house?
No, the house wasn't, we couldn't move in until September 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
So we had 2 weeks in corporate housing. Those 2 weeks were like, I was just driving my wife crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was eating 3,000 milligrams a day. I was bored. I was lonely. It was a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
I was eating Xanax to help me go to sleep. I was eating Xanax on the road. And I'll never forget, I went back there. And I got let's go high one night. I melted the tea down. Because I used to make Michael Jackson tea at night. Like, I'd make like edible tea and put 2,000 milligrams in there.
That sleepy Xanax, time, yeah.
And mix it up, and it'd be Michael Jackson tea.
Put some Sesame Street on, start jerking off. Yeah, I kill ya. The fucking
one night I made that shit, and I was like, I'm not high enough.
God, I can't believe you even said that to yourself.
Like, it was like the first month in Jersey was a fucking, like, I wasn't high enough. So I went to make another batch of tea, and I passed out. And when I got up, like 2 hours later, the fucking steam came. It ran out of water and just fucking collapsed into a little metal thing. My wife's like, we gotta throw that away.
And it's just like Lee's high. It's just like,
and then I had like fucking, I fell asleep at a restaurant. I was taking hash pills. Yeah. And we were at a restaurant.
What do you mean ash pills? Like from a fire?
Hash.
Hash pills. Hash pills, yeah. And Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it was nonstop.
What are you fucking on, dude?
We were fucking, smoke. I mean, listen, I was going to the weed store every other day.
Wow.
And every other day I'd buy a half ounce. Every other day.
Why'd you have to get so high, you think?
Just, it was part of the thing. I didn't know. To top it off, I was drinking 8 to 10 espressos a day, Cuban coffees.
Bro, what the fuck? Dog, what direction you want to go, son?
Dog, it was edibles, sleep. It was stand up, sleep, edibles. It was just too much. Wow.
And did you know what you wanted to do at that point? Or were you thinking, like, I don't know what I want to do? Because I remember there was a point right when the pandemic happened, right? After like 30, 40 days and not being having to do comedy. First, I'm like, I'll take a little break. It's great. But then I'm like, I haven't taken a break in my whole life. I never made a choice what I wanted to do. I made a choice 20 years ago. And now I'm just still doing that choice. I don't even know what I want to be doing. So there was a time where I was like, I don't even know what's going on, I remember that. And then, for a little bit, I didn't know. Thankfully, I kept podcasting, but...
Yeah, during the pandemic, that's what saved me. Was we kept podcasting.
Yeah.
Fucking get fucked up in there at night. I mean, listen, the podcast started at 7. And we would get there at 6. Talk shit, me and Lee. Start doing edibles. And then you would come at 7.
Kick that mule, baby.
And we'd do another hour of chit-chat, bombs, edibles. And then a 2-hour podcast. And then after the podcast ended, we'd hang out for another hour. I wasn't getting home till 2 in the morning. Podcast started at 7 o'clock at night.
The church, baby.
How the fuck can a podcast be, you're there 7 hours for a 2-hour fucking podcast? 2 nights a week, and it was constant,
Yeah, I left out of that. They got that set on YouTube somewhere. On mushrooms. I left out of there. Yeah.
We were nonstop. It was like fun. The THC scene was growing.
I felt like a damn taquito when I left out of there, bro. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, the The fucking weed scene was growing with us.
Yeah.
Weed companies were sticking their hands out. Edible companies.
It was fun.
Give me fucking edibles. Then Comedy Chaos.
Who got the most fucked up over the time? Give me the 5 people that probably, when they showed up at the church, they definitely, they got the holiest of water, bro. Who got doused the most up there?
I saw a lot of people go through changes.
Yeah.
Right in fucking front of me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you can
dude.
see their eyes, and I'm like, you know,
From spring to fall, a damn solstice right in front of you.
Sarah Tiana.
Yeah.
And I love her to death.
Oh,
That was
she's
not
great.
good. That made me feel really bad, you know, because she's the fucking salt of the earth. I love that girl.
She's so sweet, so funny.
Then
She
there was
has
a lot of shit that people didn't see.
Yeah.
Like one of the best episodes we did was Stephen Bauer the first time. You know who Stephen Bauer was? The guy from Scarface?
You know, did he pass away?
No. He played Manolo. He played Manny.
Oh,
I mean, he was at the
yeah.
store too. He was going to the store at the end. He came in one time with cargo shorts. Now you got to remember, it was like here. The cameras are facing me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time. He came in with cargo shorts. The camera would face him,
Mm-hmm.
and every once in a while, he'd go off camera and take a liquor bottle out of his sock.
Mm-hmm.
First, they were in his sock. I mean, this is classic shit. He would take them out of his sock first and drink them, and then put them upside down over here. Then there were 6 empty ones. Wow. Then he started going in his cargo pants, and he would take another bottle out and drink it. We counted like 9 fucking bottles, plus the beer he was drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Plus God knows what else. You know, people doing that. A guy came on one day. I forget what the fucking guy's name was. I haven't spoken to him in like 3 years. He disappeared.
Was it a Japanese guy?
No, he's a white Italian guy. I forget what his fucking name was. He would come on there and bring bags of pills. I'm not talking about like a prescription bottle. Like he'd come in with like, oh, I got these. And then when you take these, like this is the way he carried the bag.
Oh, you carry
You took one of these, you did one of these. And then if this don't do it, this don't do it. And he'd give us pills by the hand. I didn't know what they were. We used to just call them happy pills. When you just eating pills, you know what the fuck they are. And I remember I did his podcast on a Sunday. And when I got there, they had bags of fucking pills at the studio. Wow. And one day I go, you know what? Give me one of those fucking pills. It's the Lord's Day. I got nothing going on. I was high from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to fucking the next day. I don't know what type of pill I took. I don't know what he was giving out that day. I mean, I was fucked up.
Did it have like a leopard pattern on it?
I had no fucking idea. I didn't see no leopards. I didn't see nothing.
I took some shit. Yeah, one time this gay, I don't want to say the dude was gay, but everybody knew he was gay, and he knew he was gay. But he gave me a couple somas to drive him somewhere, right, dude? He's like, this is the worst idea ever, bro. And R.I.P., bro, my boy Billy Conforto. But he gave me a couple somas to drive him somewhere. He's like, Dio, bro. Because he looked like Don Flamenco. Remember Don Flamenco from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? This guy was the first homosexual that everybody knew in our area, and he also was a pride. Billy he was a fighter too. He grew up boxing, right? And then, so he would get the one with the rose in his mouth. That looks more like him. There you go. That's Billy right there, bro. Okay, so he goes, Theo, bro, I'll give you a couple somas. You drive me across the lake, bro. I was like, all right. I never taken somas in my life, dude. So I took 2 of them bitches, dude. He went into the service station to get a prepaid phone card or something because he had some domestic issues. But so he comes back out, bro, and it only been about 12 minutes I'd taken them bitches. We start driving, dude. I took a right turn, and the place didn't even exist, bro. Fucking road didn't even exist, bro. Right into the ditch, dude.
Oh my God,
bro. He fucking takes my body and moves me over to the passenger seat. The cops came. He went to jail for like 4 months, dude.
So he switched with you.
Oh, fucking G, bro. Bless his heart. Because he knew he put me in that situation. I was a child. He was like an adult, bro. But it was, I was just trying to, but who gives their driver fucking 2 somas, you know? So just poor pill management, really. But
poor pill management, yeah, it is.
But damn, that was something, dude. God. Oh. When I think of some of the times, dude,
it scares you.
Yeah, when I think of the times that I drove fucked up, Yoey, when I used to I would put both of my feet on the pedals, right? because I was too nervous to let one of my feet make all the decisions, right? So I was like, I ain't trusting this one of my feet. I'm going to have both feet down there in case something pops off, right? So I had one on each pedal, but even then, it's like playing it's a little bit of driver's ed kind of vibes. And I would be like in a crosswalk, and I would be high, and somebody would be walking through, and I'd be like, do not fucking hit the gas, bro. Just hoping my feet didn't do their own shit and start a new adventure for themselves. It just got me just being so fucked up that you didn't know if you were going to be able to rely on yourself, That shit was tough.
That's one thing about me I never fucking did. As crazy as I am, I could do anything. Like if you said to me, "Yo, can we do this? Let's go." I'm not scared of cops. When I was running. Okay, when you're running, you're running. There's one thing I hate doing: drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Or partying and driving. Listen, I could smoke a joint and drive better than most people. The other shit, I cannot drink and drive. It won't let me. My body shuts down. Because I know I could talk to a cop, but if I'm drinking, I can't talk to him because he's got me. I'm guilty. I'm not going to fucking try to tell him I had one drink. That's why I won't even have one drink when I go out. The fear of a cop pulling me over and asking me, were you drinking?
Yeah.
And then I got to go, yeah. And then he gets me out of the car, and then I got to do the fucking 10 steps. So before I go through all that shit, and we didn't have Ubers. I didn't have an Uber. Now, fucking great to get high. Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want now.
Yeah, people don't understand what that was like, not having an Uber.
Shit.
You had to get high. Say if you wanted to leave a place, you had to fucking walk off.
Walk or fucking run or fucking go through the weeds or some shit. My thing was, I'm still very grateful that in all those years, nothing happened bad on the road. And, bro, I was in situations where, a lot of shit could have happened drug-wise. One time in Beaumont, that like when I think of nights that I could have died, it's Beaumont. Beaumont for reals. I fucking OD'd on Valium.
Really? You can OD on the Sunset. There's a beautiful area.
I couldn't talk for 3 days. I had to go to a hotel room. My face was dragging. It's like I had palsy face.
Yeah.
Couldn't go home. Couldn't get on a plane. I blew my whole check in a hotel in Houston, fucking coming down, hiding from people.
Drinking Gatorades, bro.
Yeah. It's so many things could have happened.
Yeah.
All those weeks in Miami doing drugs. Houston. Houston was fucking, you came to Houston to lose your mind and do comedy. That was part of it.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. That's right. If you love firing on sports, baby, Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app for you. What I like about Prize Picks is that instead of choosing teams, you choose individual players. Each player has a set projection, and you choose more or less than that set projection. So, for example, if you think Luka Doncic is going to have more than 17 points, you would choose that. While if you think that Jason Tatum is going to have less than 20 points, you would choose that. If you're smart with sports and know what players are going to excel on what nights, Prize Picks is the best app for you, hands down. Download the app now and use code Theo. Prize Picks will match your deposit up to $100. Skies out, thighs out, baby. Summer is right around the corner, and our friends over at Chubby's are bringing the good vibration. Chubby's, I like them. I had on one of their shirts the other day in Miami, man. Beautiful, comfortable. Chubby's is a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. That's what Chubby's does. It's like, hey, look at that guy. He's just a walking mimosa right there. He likes to have a fun time. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code Theo at chubbysshorts.com. You can experience unmatched comfort and style with the Chubby's iconic original stretch shorts. I just got a pair, looking ready to put my dang butt in them. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code Theo at chubbysshorts.com. That's code THEO at chubbysshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby's.
I had a friend. No, well, he wasn't a friend. When I was like 24, There was an old guy that hung out at one of the bars.
Oh yeah.
He would just drink and then throw punches in the air.
Who's grandpa?
Yo, Rabbi, you're a dirty fucking Jew. All right, bro.
You know the whole fucking thing.
Fucking dirty bag. You're fucking up.
Yeah, I'll fucking kick your ass. Real jazz. I wanted to ask the bartender, what's up with this fucking guy?
Bro, this looks like fucking goose.
Is that all people have to say?
Oh my God, he really goes.
He just joined us the fucking call and you got nuclear on him. Damn.
He tried to kill himself out of a building and land in the garbage dump.
If you abuse dogs, get them home.
To whomever just said that, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much.
The government on the first, and he would just give it to the bartender.
Is he an actual
Tell me when it's over.
Oh, shit.
By the 18th,
Yeah,
he'd be broke.
Yep.
I'm talking about his name. His name is Rabbi. His name is Rabbi.
One day.
Okay, I'm not talking about any specific religion. His name is Rabbi. What is up with the fucking Rabbi? Fuck Rabbi. That fucker's ugly as hell. That's not who he is. Fuck
Okay.
Rabbi.
That's cool. You're entitled to that. I'll win you over. How are you today?
You left.
No. Real people
I came back at 9. I go to the bathroom. He's still in the bathroom.
Come on.
He came in and said, whoa, that's the noise you make when I open the door. Whoa. This guy used to fuck, like, we give him band toys together.
Okay. That's my name.
And that would put his
Rabbi means teacher,
whatever
and
crazy
my name is
shit
Michael
happened.
Rothschild.
And I still remember getting a lot of stuff like 2 in the morning, like a month.
That's my
And
name.
then be in the car at 5. Going to the city to get
Your
coke.
first name is
See him
Rabbi?
walking over to George
No.
Bridge.
Rabbi means teacher,
Like, oh my
and
God.
my name is
Can't
Michael
give that
Israel
motherfucker
Rothschild.
rights no more. And like,
What's your
crack him
middle
like,
name?
you showed him like this.
Oh my God, bro.
Yes,
bro.
I'll get you my ID. Just one moment.
Wow! He just watched the basketball game. Wow! He just heard my fucking Johnny. I've been asking about him. What happened before he got his dad? I was 50, 60 when that shit in the 80s.
Dude, I remember we had this dude, Mr. Dennis, and everybody just called him Danny, right? This guy in the neighborhood, he kind of like, he was just like an adult, right? But he had this son named Rocky, who was his son, right? And so, Rocky was like, I don't know if something was wrong with him, but something was pretty much
You're crazy,
wrong
dog.
with him, right? Like, he just wasn't,
Crazy. Yes, I
you couldn't really rely on him. Like, if you told him something, it didn't matter because he didn't really know, like, what was going on. Like, he would feel like I love him from this way. But Rocky got
Please.
So one time we're all outside and Mr. Denny goes, Rocky, show him that cock. That was his son, dude. And we're all like, what the fuck?
I got a screenshot of
And
Seattle's
Rocky
toes.
fucking showed that cock, bro.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
was like,
I already have that.
damn,
Bro,
you got that
what?
cock on
Bro,
there.
Rabbi wants
And
you to
then
come to his
after
house
that,
and
it would
rape me.
always, like,
Rabbi, show
anytime
it again.
that Mr. Denny was around, he would be like, Rocky, show him that cock.
Don't show your shit, man.
He would fucking get his cock.
No, Rocky wasn't all that.
No, he wasn't all there, bro. Yeah, he was, but he was like, you know, he was healthy enough, like he could enjoy Christmas and shit, you know. It wasn't like he was like, you know, like you gotta keep him in the back.
I'm a woman according to the state of California.
He was a cool guy. Like, you could play games with him and shit. Like it wasn't like he
Yeah,
was like.
I've been non-binary according to the state of California, and I'm currently a woman.
But the dad would be like, Rocky, show him that bitch.
Guys, we're not gonna ban someone when they're not breaking the rules. Come on.
Fuck you to death. I was up at Salem, Oregon. And I was working at Cleveland. He was on stage, and one of the kids was walking by. He started making noise.
Yeah, it was just doing the vibe and
You
forth.
think I'm fucking kidding? I was watching the whole thing go down. He hasn't going crazy. He's looking at his tits. And it was 2 fucking big black guys. You know,
To be honest with you, I like MILFs.
To work in security.
Oh,
There was a point
do
they
you
couldn't contain.
believe in your?
He was
Do you
just
believe in
they had a fucking tackle him. He was
I
pushing
have
his
read it.
brothers out
Do I
of the way.
believe in it?
Was
I
like,
think
this
that it's a
fucking-
standard
they're
of Jewish
strong.
teaching,
Oh,
but I'd
yeah.
like to modernize it.
Definitely, I'm strong.
So you think everyone else is going yet? And then
I don't want to get into political or religious debates. I just want to be here and hear what everybody else is saying.
Can't let him pet an animal for too long.
can you marginalize wanting to have
Dude, what was I seeing?
underage kids?
What was that thing in the news
That's
I
what
just
you
saw?
That's what you were saying. That's what the
That they
topic says.
found.
I don't want to
Well,
discuss
now-
politics
now
or
I'm
religion.
starting to think
I am
that
allowed to be
people
here
will
just
have
like everybody
Having a
else.
civil
conditions,
conversation,
right?
no
Because they're
racism.
having, they just found like plastic. What was it? You see that thing?
Microplastics have been found in human testicles.
Yeah.
I mean, in my
Bring
country,
that up,
16.
dude. I mean, Joey, this is
You
the
think
kind
it
of
should be
stuff,
lower than
brother.
16,
You're
Rothschild?
lucky you have a healthy, 2 healthy daughters.
Rabbi,
You know, this is the kind of stuff,
Lower
man.
than 16 is crazy.
No, actually, I think it should be 26. That's when your frontal cortex finishes growing, and I feel like if you really want to enter into any type of age of consent, it should be older when your brain is fully matured. I can't have a conversation like this.
47 canine and 23 human tests.
Look,
No, that's the
look,
body,
look,
man. Taken from uterine operations and survivors, respectively. All those testicles
shut
have
up when I'm
microplastics.
fucking talking. Why didn't you answer? I know how it is.
So it's just like,
you
what's
may
in
have
the way?
sex with a child as long as the
What
child
is
is
that
less
hard,
than 9
bro?
years old.
If you got a
And is
flat,
4 years.
what kind of effects can happen? They'll say they've already
That's what the
found in the
Talmud says.
bloodstream
Hey,
and
I'm
in other
just reading
human
what the
organs
Talmud
such as the
says.
liver, the heart, and the
We're
lung.
having a civil conversation.
You start to wonder what happens when they get into your brain. Does that make more if a kid's got plastic in his head or whatever? Bro,
I am.
There's so many things going on.
Yep. Stuff
No, you're non-binary.
There's so many
Wait,
fucking things.
there's more Jews. Oh,
Look at this.
on Jews.
Pandemic
Tell us you're not
opened up.
That's crazy.
With fucking shots, mental health. It just opened up a variety
Being
of
Jewish,
everything. Everything. I got a fucking hernia. I lost weight off when I had this bump. Got a fucking hernia. You know, who the fuck
You know,
knows?
why are you not
Who
answering?
the fuck knows what
Yo,
they're
that
putting
shit
in
is
food
weird
anymore?
as fuck. You made a whole ass egg?
No, you don't know what you're
No,
doing.
don't tell me you reheated the fucking egg.
Fucking
No, I
tastes
mean-
good.
Dude, that bagel's
It tastes
bro.
like shit sometimes. It
That's a
tastes
fucking
good.
It doesn't even taste like fruit
No,
sometimes.
no, guys, it's a different fucking world. And, you know, try to make a doctor's appointment.
Possible.
It's try to get a heart. Try to make a
Egg
heart.
on a burger?
I'm cutting.
They'll tell you. Like when you call today, they'll go, yeah, fucking.
This is
Yeah,
not even
because that fucking, the fucking needle.
What do you know about
Fuck
Judaism?
everybody's heart out.
Nothing. She's not a Jew.
There's a
She's
ton
not
of
a
shit
Jew.
going on. God, no. They're not telling you. They don't tell you shit.
Has it always been like that, or do you think it's happening more than ever? Do you feel like it's always been like that in life?
I think it's always been like that. We have the internet now.
See, you know, Max
And 20,000 media outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have so much information. This metal, this fucking heart,
Oh,
this
shit.
disease. I think the biggest thing I'm looking at is I've never seen mental health like this. I know people. I grew up with people.
Don't believe, like, this is
And
why I
I
like
talk to
seeing
them
all
now,
the
they're not the same person.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the same person. I know the pandemic or whatever, the 30 years of comedy, you know, getting hit in the head.
That's
Who
such
the
a
fuck
shitty
knows?
camera.
But right now, man, you have,
I think it's fucking
did you see like the last 10 years the rise maybe of politicians? Anywhere you go, people want to talk to you about politics. I never seen that. Men don't even want to talk about pussy no more. But what do you think? You know,
called IV cams, like
it's
$2
too much
and it streams
information.
in 4K
And that
using your
pandemic
iPhone.
fucked
I
us
just
up
use that shit.
because what were you doing?
Oh, shit.
Listen to music
It's
or
crazy,
watching
bro.
TV, waiting for the next fucking
Yeah.
episode. After the pandemic, I
I really don't like this
Well,
Rabbi
music.
Jam Simulator.
ever again. I'm an American. I want to watch it at 6:30. I was raised on them. I don't watch anymore.
It's
Because
not
they just
like
don't
that.
like you. That's all they're doing. They're giving you selective news. I don't believe anything no more. I just live my life. And I fucking try my
Honestly,
best
not
to decipher
Just
what's
waking
getting
up.
thrown at you all day.
Yo,
Yeah.
you know,
But the
for
mental health, I think right now, and this is what it's got to be. It's the internet. It's the fucking,
I don't
you know, everybody's a celebrity.
Kinda,
We're living in a world where everybody's a fucking celebrity now. You go to a fucking movie theater now, they got poster boards. You take pictures. Everybody's a fucking celebrity.
I've
never seen it all.
song. What is it called?
I got a restaurant for my house on Thursday nights. You can't pull up.
Yes.
Can't pull up. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, we're a fucking restaurant. Everybody's a fucking celebrity. The other half, we're fighting for our
Shut the
fucking lives.
fuck up, bro.
And then they keep putting this shit at
And
you.
I love you. I love
Every
Jews.
day,
I love
you
Jews.
put the news on in the afternoon or whatever.
Wait, let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. Listen. See how can he be an immigrant when he's
And
in
if
his
you're
own
gonna
country?
fucking,
Are you dumb?
yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen the people We're getting
This country.
so much
It's in this fucking
information.
country. You're calling it a name.
It's so much. Fucking somewhere along the line, you gotta crack.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's too much, man.
to breathe.
I just like a simpler time too, man. God, remember how much fun it was?
It's just simple. Nobody had phones. Nobody's gonna hold you.
This is dope, bro. I don't go to Howard Johnson, bro.
See, I don't look like the kind of girl that even Quagmire would
They had
think.
they had that saltwater taffy.
Bring it, show them that cock, bro.
Show them that cock. There's still, I think there's still a Howard Johnson's by me on Route 3.
Oh, there it is, dude. Howard Johnson, my mom, when I was like 5, we would go, she would drop us off there to meet my grandparents or whatever. And we didn't know our, like, and they would have, they used to have, and we'd have like a nice meal there, it'd be nice, bro. They had the bathroom that had the little, you ever go to a bathroom, but it has a little room before you get in the bathroom. It was like you open the door, and then you're just in like a little bigger room, and then there's another door. And that's the bathroom. It's like the room's like 3 feet by 3 feet. You know what I'm saying? You open that. They had that shit too. We never even seen that. Like a little.
How many Howard Johnsons
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean,
Dude, show me in, bro. I remember for $11 you could stay at the place, right? For $15 you could stay and eat, right?
She talks
So it was that $4 upcharge. You got that buffet. Shoney's had it in, and we would go, bro. And they also had this like premier buffet for like $2 more. You could go in like this kind of roped off area of the buffet, and down there they had fucking
no, I know what?
salmon or whatever, you know, damn
So like
pickles, special pickles, salmon. Honeydew pickles, honeydew melon. Like I've never seen fucking gay watermelon. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
all
but
this
yeah, that
special
fucking
shit
one dude and then you
down
got
there,
all
like
your
black pudding or whatever. They had all the shit down there. The Reeboks were on sale. They had like this special area of the
I'm an idiot. I'm not gonna lie,
the
but I
buffet,
don't
but it
agree
was
with
like
my power.
roped off unless you got the premier edition or whatever. But dude, we would go there, bro. It was so nice.
It's kind of
When you're a kid, all that shit's nice
no,
until
but
you
all
get
that thing
older.
about like
Why am I
Pops,
eating
you know, that
this shit?
shit he made.
I'm gonna fucking die.
That's kind of.
Look at the people around me. Look what they look like. And here I am with them about to die. And that's anywhere. Any of those chains, that fucking country crock. What's that one? The
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. You'll die.
It is nice.
You'll fucking die in one of those places.
Wait, so
There's like 10 of those fucking joints that you're eating in and you're like, you know what? This is what's the place that they have the chocolate? They have them in Burbank.
Memphis?
No. No. There's like an all-you-can-eat buffet in Burbank.
Oh,
It's like a
damn.
chain. It's a chain, and they
They
advertise.
Oh, you're talking about Shakey's Pizza?
No, not that either. They used to call me a Shakey's Pizza in Seattle. They did one night down like a Wednesday
My
night.
buddy got leprosy at one of those places.
He fucking got leprosy.
Oh, this guy would get everything, bro. He's real susceptible, fella.
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral, that's a fucking place right there.
Oh, you die.
Oh, there's a
And
lot
I see people eating fish at those places. You just want to go with them and go, listen, here's a good mortician. And they lay out your body and they take that salmon, shrimp, and I don't think there's no buffets.
I mean, I think, well, people are still doing them, but it's definitely more of a risque type of thing. It's kind of like the OnlyFans of like the dinner community. I feel like if you see a buffet, it almost feels like it's prohibition or something. Like you should, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Because
there are those places and you look around and you're like, I went to fucking,
I
my brother-in-law was, I like my brother-in-law. That's my niece's birthday. I love it. But I can't go to Paducah because they take me to this restaurant and they put cheddar cheese on everything. They put it on oatmeal, on cereal. I mean, whatever you
they don't
order,
care.
they put a handful
You ever gonna fight
of
before?
that communist cheddar cheese. It's
Yeah.
worse than the one
You
the
ever beat a
government
bitch's
sent out.
house?
Yeah.
And I'm eating the one night with my wife because my wife brought it home to me the one night. She's like, I'm going to go over here and eat. You can stay there and I'll just bring you a thing. And I ate it. It wasn't bad. Steak. Just a piece of meat. It wasn't bad. That's not how I
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
stop
I'm trying.
recruiting.
Let's go.
My ex, he
Look at
deserved
these
it.
people. everybody's ankles.
Why? Because he cheated.
They all had a diabetic foot. Oh yeah, everybody. It's like going to a Yankee game. I went to a Yankee game 2 years ago. I was sitting next to a lady. Her foot was
Should
perfect.
just take
And
the
what
ass.
this bitch do? She put like a blue tattoo on it. To
Wait,
throw
so
the
you're
photo
really
up
such a
on the
weirdo.
diabetic foot. I'm
I
like,
would
when
have
does
done
it
murder,
end?
Fucking
murder
John
charge.
Stanley, dick.
And she's sitting there eating beer, drinking beer.
If you're eating beer, I seen a woman there eating beer with a spoon. You know this bitch is
No,
going
it was
downhill.
a fucking nightmare. When I see a diabetic foot at a restaurant,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Oh,
Or a fat ankle like that. When I looked around this restaurant, everybody's ankle was gone. I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm on the plane tomorrow. I gotta go.
Yeah, you get to some. It is true. I think it's important. You got to look around and see who's in the
Who's in this fucking joint? Look at these people.
That's
They're all
right.
dying.
because sometimes it is. It's just cat. It's like people are just like cows that don't want to. Yeah, that can't even breathe that good or read. You'll see people like on oxygen.
What is
You
the
know,
world
Oh,
sneaking
yeah,
in
yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking,
Go in there. Yeah, yeah.
sneaking in a little hit of pie or something.
While they're even smoking a
Not
cigarette.
even
Yeah.
a burger,
Fuck.
bro.
They don't give a fuck. And it's like, I get nervous in those places. Like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, there's just a lot of bad food out there, and I think it's gotten worse in place now. You have to take care of yourself because the government or whatever we thought, the FDA, that shit's already compromised.
But that's fine. You show up with an envelope and they'll prove anything.
This motherfucker,
They don't give a fuck.
bro, you could have damn menthol bread pudding, bro. This motherfucker is
You know, you can go on Instagram. They sell every jet
Like,
lag
I'm actually trying to use your own
buy. You know, and they constantly your Instagram. It's like bodybuilding, recuperation, testosterone. Yeah, I'm gonna buy testosterone online. Some fucking guy I don't know. It is crazy.
eyebrow loss. They have eyebrow. Like, what are you?
Yeah,
Yes, poor vision. Yes, and grandparents. They're like, for $40 a month.
Can we say
It's just some of this shit. Yeah, it's like everything is for sale. It doesn't matter.
everything. You sit there, you all these products. I like when somebody goes on Rogan and they talk about a product, and then you go on Instagram 2 weeks later, and they're talking on Rogan about the product, and they're selling it. It's like, guys.
Like using the clips, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so.
It's dirty.
Yeah, it's just changed
Why
a
did
lot.
you tell me
We've just
that
gotten to
you
where
wanted
everything is
Twitter?
advertised.
Wait, Max, did you get molested by
You know,
DJ?
everything is for sale. I mean, if you look at it, even with like a lot of young men aren't having sex anymore. A lot of women are selling their bodies on the OnlyFans. It's like there's nobody holding anything. You know, it used to be you had to go at least tickle somebody to get some pussy. You know, it was like,
Little bar, talk to them. They come out the door,
at least lie to them.
work the angle. You know what I'm saying? There's always an angle. I don't know. I'm still recovering from my old boyfriend. Well, let's do some coke and talk about it. You know, there's always fucking something.
With this guy so much.
But it's just different, man.
We forgot. Listen, man. We forgot.
It's got a menacing stare, man.
Things are getting right away from us.
I like it.
You know, I was really opposed to
Better watch out, see how he gonna bring out the
I
hammer.
remember that. That's why I even called you
Can
yesterday.
you watch
really
that
opposed
video I
to it.
sent
Now
in
I'll
general?
do it. But I didn't like it.
Why did you
because it
say
takes
that?
away our connection. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah,
Tell me whatever
I'm
you want.
messaging your mom.
Theo, how you doing? I'm doing great. Theo, how you doing? So I don't, that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like it. Because
Oh my
what
God,
they
I'm
do is
so
create
scared.
a separate
Do you need
even
to
more.
back up? Are you
You know what? I
sure
can't see
that's
Theo
All
now,
that
but we'll
said,
do
he
Zoom
didn't fuck
once
with
a
you,
week.
Clyde, and then he just came
Let's
back
Zoom.
with you.
Get no fucking blame.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah. We're
Genuinely
doing
said, I
everything
don't
we
like
can
Clyde.
to separate. And I always hated that. I understood the pandemic. I got it. But we need each other. It's like, I'm going to tell you something interesting. Pandemic
Maybe
started.
you're annoying.
I was fucked up. I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to believe this. I started doing better.
Oh, Clyde.
And once I was there a year,
How much did you
August
buy?
19th,
How much alcohol did you buy?
2021, I was a little better. I was still withdrawing from the Xanax.
I gotta give
Having
Clyde
some
a fucking
issues, but I
I
did
feel bad
something
for
that
all shit.
before I did the knee operation, because I went back.
It's his own thing, but
My
like,
knee went to shit.
oh
So
man, I
I
used to be so
landed
bad
like
before,
3
so I
weeks
always
later,
feel bad.
because I was going to cryo every day.
It's not bad, he's
California.
retarded.
But once I landed here, the
Oh.
pandemic, there was no more
Yeah, so
fucking
why are you
cryo.
being-
I
why are you
did
being
nothing.
mean to you?
So my knee
You
went
know,
to
I'm
shit.
still, no, I'm
I
still
got surgery.
retarded, so it's
I
good.
went down to
I'm
the
scared.
my
No, I have to be honest. I believe in the philosophy that you have, like,
And I
if
was scared
something
shit.
bad in this
It's
lifetime, you must have done something really
COVID's
bad in your
been around
past
not
life.
even a year.
So, like,
what?
People are
me
still like,
bullying him,
not
I'm
touching
doing
each other
God's
and shit.
work.
Holy shit, that's how you justify
He
it.
needs to be
When I
tortured.
left
He
there,
needs to
I
be
had a
tortured in his lifetime since he's been a bad person in his past
So I didn't
life.
go back.
He didn't choose ending up like that.
Even the karma chose. Exactly. Karma chose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go to the grocery store for some milk. Oh my god, bro, y'all are hot. Holy shit.
Put it up for
I do this
It goes like this, kids. Reap what you sow in life.
Right.
You reap what you sow. So if you sow negativity, you reap negativity.
Yeah, Cannibal Tone, that's true, that's true,
bro. He did some fucked up shit. How I guess this life.
No, but I think that's going towards you, though.
100% coming towards you. I am very nice.
honestly, I feel like
Bullying a guy. Balance. I bully someone. Negativity up the cloud. You then reap. Negativity. You then reap negativity in addition to whatever negativity. Look, I haven't bullied. I'll swear to God, I haven't bullied Clyde in like a whole week. I'll swear to God, I've been so nice with this whole week, bro. Like, as I've been talking on the server and shit, I've been treating him so nicely, bro.
Yeah.
Look,
It
my
was
point
really
is,
that-
all about balance.
When I got out,
You bully a lot here, good luck
dropped
being
it
here,
on the
man.
corner of the Beacon, and I was in a
I'm
corner
not gonna
with
tell you what to
500
do, bro.
people.
Light it
And they were all
up.
like touching me and shit. And I remember walking out that circle going, if I don't get COVID now,
Yeah,
I'll never get it.
yeah, bro. Look,
I agree at the same
Went to the
time.
movie
Life
theater,
uses manipulation.
didn't even go to the premiere party. I just saw the movie with my family and some
and
friends.
he's not too
I
retarded
didn't
to
go
know
to
he's
the party.
manipulating. Like, I know that.
But going
He
to that
literally
jiu-jitsu
said if I
class
didn't date him, he'd
and the
kill
classes
himself.
after that, like I was
Oh, that's
crazy.
crazy. Like, he was
I said,
actually
fuck
jerking it on
this.
OC to us.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we were all
I
there.
need
He didn't
to
show
fucking
it,
die.
but
I
he.
need to talk
But
to
hey,
them.
yo, bro, I think I've seen him
Yeah, isolation it feels like it's what you want to do for yourself to make things easier, more comfortable.
Make the guy
And
like
that is one of the biggest traps, you know. I notice
No,
it for
I would
myself all the time.
never. I would
It's like
never.
I'll like
I'm not
even
that.
the other day I had some friends that went on the boat here on Lake Austin, right? I'd rather just chill, work on my comedy, you know. I'm in town, I'm in Austin specifically to work on get up on stage and stuff. And so
evil
and
laugh,
I was
man.
like,
That's
you know, I should go because I always choose the let me stay and work on something. Let me stay and be by myself. I always choose that. And then I find myself, well, then you're always by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get stuck with by
I
yourself
told you my
thoughts,
philosophy.
by yourself bullshit.
And I
You
100%
know,
believe
when
that.
you're with somebody,
You know what?
you get a,
Hold your picture.
they don't fucking run off. You're like, oh, I'm all right. I'm all right to be around. I'm not a complete weirdo,
Look at
you
that
know.
shit, bro.
And so that kind of stuff is huge, man. And being in those classes, it's just like, and you make friends, you start to realize people got your back.
I
And
literally have the
that
nice
there's
right now.
nothing is as helpful. I don't think as going to those jiu-jitsu classes. I don't go into them as much as I wish I did, because I kept getting hurt, bro. I would just, and I keep doing it. I was work. I'm like, I'm fucking knees and all my shit all wrapped up. I got a fucking bunch of leggings, fucking duct tape to my rib cage and reading shit off my arms, you know, eating oleander or whatever on the fucking internet. And
I promise I'll behave when you leave.
but yeah, just that camaraderie, bro.
For your sake, you know,
One
because
time
you didn't destroy it.
We've been in there rolling for the day, and I just started bawling. Like just shit from my that was stuck in my body or whatever. It's just fucking like released,
You
you know.
never know, suddenly, what jumps in there, don't know, you know.
It's what keeps me together. Every Monday and Thursday.
Just a little, I'm here, oh, what's that here?
I have to show up with $1 million envelope. Yeah, like I made that decision 6 months. Like I've been going steady. Like
Yara,
I
what the
hurt,
fuck are you yapping about?
December.
Yo, there's a
And after that
fucking
hurt, my
hurricane.
ankle, I go, you know what? I'm doing this a different way. I'm going in there. It's a plan. 2 days, I lift.
I have to go run and get the
I
pillow.
lift, I go to jiu-jitsu,
Who's
I
that
ride
money,
the
bro?
bike, and I'm done
Who's
for the
this?
fucking week. Yeah, it's what I do. Like, I
Is
don't
there a
give a fuck
hurricane
what
coming?
you got going.
I
I'm
know.
doing it.
I don't know.
Money.
If you don't go on Monday, then you're behind a week. Then you're
Hold
not going on Tuesday.
Hold on.
Tuesday, you're going to
Hey,
get an audition.
you're
Then
going
Wednesday, your kid's sick.
Hold on.
Yo, pump the clutch. What's up, bro? I've been acting real good.
She's sick. My wife's got a
Yeah,
douche.
yeah.
I got to cover. And that's why I always go back. You always get at least that one.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to take Thursday from me, something else will happen. But that's
whenever you're
Hey,
fucking around,
hey,
because
miles away and I'll sense it.
it gives you a different set of things.
It's like a
And it gives you a set of things. We're all trying to get help. One guy's
I've been
shoulder, one guy's trying to
I've
be
been
great.
PR trained on radar.
I go in there, fucking shit. I go in there, burn 500 calories.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
It says here that there's no
But
activity
these are the
for
things I'm doing now.
Oh my God.
I even
Let me go
enjoyed
downstairs. I need to
jujitsu
get
when I was
this
doing
thing.
Animal,
comedy.
you sound exactly like Napoleon
Because it got
Dynamite.
you away from the agents and the managers.
Nigga, eat my dirt. You
Everything
wanna go
talking
do
about
some
the same
jujitsu in
shit
my
all the
garage?
time.
Yeah, it's secret gay dudes too out there in Hollywood, bro.
I need to try to get
Jesus
this
Christ. I remember the first time I ever, some guy, I didn't even just got into town, I don't know what was going on. And some guy tried to kiss me outside of a park or whatever. And then I remember another time a dude, an agent or whatever, gave me a ride to some place, introduced me to like Cuba Gooding Jr. or whatever, and then tried to feel on my leg whatever he was giving me a ride home, dude. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Dude, I was like, if I wasn't a little brave, I would have been gay, bro. Rocky got that.
Rocky on the top. It's good. It's like Rocky out here. This is LA with you. They one of those guys who say like rocks on the top. Boom, there you go. You want that roll here? I got a cop here. Suck this stick of love over here.
Wait, why do you have beef with them?
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. That's right. Let's talk about sex, fellas. Okay, remember the days when you were ready to go, buddy. Now you can increase your performance and get extra confidence in bed.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Listen up.
Don't tell me his address.
BlueChew.com.
Don't tell me his address.
is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets, and at a fraction of the cost that you can get going, boy. Get you one, smack it down, you ready? Does it work? Yup, that's it. You don't think you need it? Maybe you don't, but you can try it for a month and see if you want. I love it. They're always saying first impressions are important. Rock that blue cheesy, baby. You feel me? Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Theo at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Theo. To receive your first one free, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. You know, if you're selling something online, it can get very tedious. You can get caught up in the minutia of figuring out, how much product do I need to hold, and the addresses that I need to send it to, and how do I get the mailing labels, and it can be unending. You can spend more time figuring out how to do your business than actually doing your business. ShipStation makes it easier. They're the multi-carrier shipping solution that integrates wherever you sell online and streamlines your workflow so your business can grow. That's right. They have an easy-to-use dashboard that makes managing orders, smooth label printing, reporting, and customer service easy. You can scale your business and reduce warehouse costs with ShipStation's reliable enterprise solutions. And you can save on thousands of shipping costs. That's what I've enjoyed the most. With discounts up to 89% on UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates. Work less and ship more with ShipStation, the innovative tool that helps turn your shipping challenges into opportunities for growth. Go to ShipStation.com and use code Theo to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code Theo. I'm going to tell you flat out that using the internet without ExpressVPN is like going into a public bathroom and just leaving the door wide open. Well, ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so your online activity can't be seen by anyone. It works on phones, laptops, even routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected. I've certainly looked at stuff online that I'd like to keep between me and myself. Secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/THEO today. That's expressvpn.com/THEO. expressvpn.com/Theo to get an extra 3 months for free.
My hair is fucked up.
Yeah, bro. Dude, and Rocky, they grew up like downwind from like one of those pesticide factories or something. Or, you know, the place that would have the spray rig, you know? Dude, remember when the spray rig would come through your neighborhood? Dude, we would fucking get on our bikes, bro. And because in Louisiana, they sprayed that bitch fucking twice a week. Dude. The whole fucking, everybody's stepmother looked like a mosquito in that bitch, dude. But we would get on our bikes and just ride behind that gas, just pure gas. Bitch, dude. But Rocky and then Mr. Denny, they live downwind from one of those.
You ever met a punching bag that can't live back?
Bro, Rocky ain't been fucking stung by a bee since 2011, bro.
Oh, that was so hard.
I guess the best thing is remembering stuff from growing up. That's something that I really, that's my favorite thing. It's just remembering stuff from growing up. Yeah, thinking about the past. I love it, you know, that's what most of like the most entertaining stuff is for me. But growing up now feels like kind of weird. I think for a lot of times I didn't want to grow up because I still wanted to just, I feel like if I grow up too much, then I'll lose all the fun. Does that ever make any sense to you?
You know, man, it's so weird how you look at your life. I haven't had fun. Like fun.
Bullying back in Fox in here is so much fun.
Like that old-fashioned fun that I enjoy.
I can't be
Stop and laugh with your friends.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the floor.
Sienna, would you run for the local
It's like I've been chasing. Summers when I was growing up, they just chased me. You know, it's funny. I look at like I've seen something about
you fucked
a while ago
DeSantis?
about a club. It was this club, VIP, and all this. And I looked at it and I'm like, all this is people
Bro,
chasing
isn't it
the
overdue that I get like some new rules?
That's
Or
all
am I?
this is. They've been
No.
chasing the people
Oh, wait a bit.
since the 80s, you know, guys like you and I.
That's why I like
Like childhood really special.
Someone said,
It
"Boom,
was
what's up?"
comical.
Yeah, can I get
Comical. So when we think of our childhood, we like no other option.
Steve?
Because all
Because
we
we
do
put
is
that
we
thing
put
over.
together
I
stories,
Gay.
situations,
Don't believe
other
the shit.
storytellers that taught us how to tell stories.
corny in general right now.
I think now, like, I was always going to be a clown. I just didn't know that. I just didn't know that. Everything all goes into one circle. Everything that you lived. I remember somebody
You're
told me
really
one
not
time
supposed to be doing that, madam.
that when you do a movie, okay, like
Tiana, you're
I did a
crazy
bunch of
bitch.
movies early on, and nobody talked to me.
She did
Nobody
say
said,
she was gonna shoot her eyes.
Because you gotta give a movie
I love that shit. That's pretty
you have to
intense.
give a
Love that
movie
shit.
years. And all of a sudden, I saw what he meant.
Tiana, I like you when you're dramatic.
When the podcast and everything else started lifting us, he started connecting
I
those
like
movies.
when he does that.
You follow me like Chris, you
Dog
can't
is
connect
so
them.
cute. What the fuck?
After you
Hit
hit a little bit, people start following you and stuff. Your movies will connect. You know, like it's the weirdest thing. I don't know if I'm explaining.
I don't know. I'm not understanding you.
Yeah, you had a concept that said like people do a movie.
Yeah, I would eat it.
Like you do a movie with like who's the hottest
Wait, you
star?
got 2 dogs?
How, probably,
Gigi or Dave, I don't even know these fucking people.
yeah, probably Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
They're
You do a
probably
movie with Bradley
did you
Cooper,
see?
and the movie comes out. Bradley Cooper
Yeah,
wins
I
the
like
Academy
the
Award
one
for
somebody
great
made it
movie.
recently where they made him into like
You don't
mob
think that
boss.
you're getting as much.
Oh,
as
yeah,
you
that was
should.
me.
You ever see somebody do a movie and fucking they blow up? Yeah, Tiffany Haddish. The
Big
movie,
boss class.
she's been working hard for 30 years. Did one movie,
We haven't
blew
seen
the
Clyde
fuck
in a
up.
while.
Yeah, okay. I did 20 movies. Nobody ever fucking talked to me at all. They didn't talk to me
Oh, why did you
till I
message?
fucking told the story
Why
about
did you
mugging a hooker.
message Lena?
Right, no way on fire. I changed my career. That was it. People, people start. You do a Disney show, nobody wants to see.
Why?
Yeah, you know, you do a deep nothing.
Because I work with food and I don't What's the recipe? Successful?
Let's
So,
say
yeah,
you did a movie with Bradley Cooper and you call me a year from now and go, what the fuck?
When did she ask?
All
I
these
didn't hear her
motherfuckers
say
do
anything about Lost.
I got one commercial or something out of it,
Right.
you know?
Gosh, so
But in 3 years,
y'all guys be
as you keep
messaging
growing,
each
your
other.
career keeps growing.
Who,
More
Lena?
people will start going, let me watch that movie. It's
Well,
Theo.
Iris is back.
I didn't know Theo was, oh shit, I gotta watch that again.
No, it's just
Now you're somebody to them. And that's how that movie gets big and connected to all the other movies. It's really because nobody seems like that. You know, like I'm telling you, I mean, I remember going to see, I think the longest yard. That's the only movie people come out and shake my hand, and at the end of the show, they would hide from me. Because they thought I was going to do Adam Sandler knock knock.
Wait, so why did you fall into the Rothschild guy?
Coke and fucking get my
Just
chips up.
chef up
Yeah.
With the Coke rock, and people were like,
Bro, I live in
"Please."
fucking Norway. What?
And now you say one fucking joke about mugging a hooker, and you're selling out fucking comedy clubs. You don't know what it's going to be, but the culture of it is what I'm talking about. How
I got you.
you might not think nobody saw you for years. It's like you could do 18 movies.
Dude,
The movie you hate the most.
I make you all hard.
Bro, that guy's a fucking retard. I'm a national
We
state
love
wrestler.
you. You're like, God damn it, I did 17 other ones.
Yeah.
I did 17 other movies, and that's the one you like, the one I fucking hated. And then you tell them the story. I was
I literally live more than him. This is the crazy part. I'm 175. He's a heavyweight. I deadlift 800 fucking pounds. He can't even squat 3 plates. Dumbass.
Yeah, I guess it's like,
It's on
did you think that when podcasting started, it was going to be what it was? Did you have any real foresight on it? Did you get into it because you were like, oh, I don't know if, like, acting is going to be enough for me? Like, what was kind of your motivation to get into it? I mean, it's kind of an old question. I just don't know the answer to it.
2009.
He's, you know, we call him in the hood, bro. When the EMTs get there, we call him a blood sponge because he can't even breathe.
At that time, man, I'd done movies, I'd done TV shows, I recurred on TV shows,
Bro, I grew up in the Civil War in Albania. I'll fucking.
and I was just open to it. I would do spots, you know, I would do my own shit. And then I was like, you know what, man, I got a call.
No, for real, I'm not an angry guy, but whenever somebody's like, oh, bro, I'll just fucking kill it. And I check this shit, he's like, anger enthusiast, this. I'm like, shut your gay ass up. You don't gotta put anything.
It was so ridiculous. And a year before this,
That whole year, he's got roid rage. He's about to get
with
fooled.
somebody else. That guy's name
My
was
cousin
Billy
do
Bud.
steroids.
Burnback.
So skinny.
Bro, I'm dead ass
He
overhand as
told me
fucking
that
headed.
right before he got Molly and whatever that fucking show was,
Molly and Mark or whatever.
I don't know.
he
What's
was
he gonna
like,
do?
I'm
Put
just
his
gonna
ass
get
on
they
BJJ?
just offered me these deals.
He thinks these fucking micros got on like
days,
those.
and 2000, no air, no bad, no. And I'm like, you know, that happened to me. I was like, you know what? It's 2009. I got nothing going on.
That's Muay Thai.
I'm gonna go to a Ford store and pee in a bottle
Oh,
and get a job.
Yo, when he's on check the
I
general
still love
chest.
this. I've been missing the
Yeah,
water.
who can I
And I still love the road, but I'm not. It's
What does that mean?
I'm doing it for 20 years. That's
Swedish guy.
I'm not even happy with it.
Good eating to all except Jews.
Okay, it is like, I'm good. I can do movies. I keep my insurance. I go
That shit
to a
sent me,
TV
bro.
show, except lately.
Bro, that shit
I
sent
don't
me,
know
man.
what's going on. But
That's hilarious.
We don't even have any more TV shows, really.
Bro,
yeah, but I didn't get an
I'm
audition.
man.
I got an audition.
That
I
was
didn't
so
go
random,
fuck
dude. That
yourself. I
was so
didn't get it.
fucking random.
When you got one line that curses Steve Martin and you don't get it, you're not doing well. Okay.
No.
So
You still audition a pretty good bit.
Huh?
You still audition a decent amount.
if they have something, they'll call me and I'll put it on tape. Or
Bro,
lately,
no,
I've
like,
been doing
I'm downloading
But I'm not.
like 2 minutes left in the second play.
But you like it, though. It's something you like, though.
No, I like
I think he's
I
one
don't
second.
work.
Awesome.
My dick gets hard when I get that call.
Oh,
My dick gets hard when I go in the room and there's other actors in there. They look at you like, what are you doing? You're like, really, motherfucker? I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, bitch.
Yeah.
And when they call you for wardrobe, you're like, come on, guys. Fuck. You're coming for wardrobe, and then you come back for this, and then park, and then we're gonna do a table read on Tuesday. You're like,
I'm 170.
Quit jerking everybody off. Wasting people's time and money.
so that's my shit. I love booking.
That is a good moment when somebody calls you and says you got
You
something.
got something. Listen, they made you an offer, but why? You're like, fuck yeah. Fuck that fucking audition.
Yeah.
I remember going to audition one time and the guy told us in the audition, go home. I already did the job. I already worked with this guy. He's going to give me the job anyway. And then I booked him. I saw him at the store like a week later. You ever hear from him? Like a bitch. He was pale. He was fucking pale. But what I was trying to was the truth was, I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. I always had a problem with comedy. I'm not the best comedian. But I'm a good storyteller. I had a chance to tell my story.
You're gonna pull a gun. You think I'd ever go along
If
with
you
this?
didn't, I'll go away into the hills quietly. You ever watch
Get a long
HBO
man like
boxing?
you already jerked off.
Yeah. Joe Frazier or whatever.
Nah, like
Roy Jones Jr.
yeah, like anything 20 years ago with boxing. You know, you look at a guy
It's
that's
funny too. You see getting steroids from that somebody
right,
cooked up in their
like,
bed, so
guy.
he thinks he's not.
tattoos, he's talking
His
all
mind
this
is already
shit,
gone from
you
the
know.
shit.
But then they do those things.
He's a nice guy though. That's it.
20 for 20.
I don't have anything against him.
Let's
It's
talk
just
to
that
Theo at his house.
I don't
You
give a
know,
fuck.
so I know Theo, he's got a hat, in Louisiana, he's got ice
What
Mike,
the fuck is
this, that, but now I get to see you with your mother.
Yeah.
Shit's so
I get to see you with your kids.
Yeah,
I
you
get
better
to see
watch
that.
out. That
Fucking Theo has a farm. I didn't know that. He gets up in the morning after training, 2 hours, and he goes to the farm and works 8 hours, and then he gets his kid up from school, cooks for them, then he goes back to fucking train, then he goes back over there and puts his kids in showers, then he fucking, you know, and you're like, I thought this guy was just a fucking shit. You know, that was my story. Right. And I knew if I could tell my story, digitally, like, whatever I did that, I could get some. And I was like, just go up there. And for 2 months, he was doing what the people do. So what do you think about people? That's not a podcast, right? You just fucking think you do. When you get into the nuts and bolts with people, and just like I told you, I had nothing going on in my career until I told the story that I met the hooker. And all of a sudden, I was selling 150 tickets a show, and you're like, I've done fucking all this stuff, and nobody ever wanted to buy a ticket. But I tell them all stories. So when guys like me and you do, tell them off the stuff.
Yeah.
And they ate them up.
Yeah, well, people can relate to stuff, dude. Especially with hookers, man. I remember doing drugs, and then I would like negotiate with hookers on that, right? Because I didn't have any money, so I'm sitting there like, I'm not like price gouging or whatever they call it, but I'm like, you know, like, I'm like, it's just say for maybe 40 minutes or whatever, you know, you give me like, you know, $75 off the amount or whatever. And I was always so high. This would happen to me every time, Joey. A woman of the night or whatever, escort would come over. I'd be so high, I'd be scared. I'd hand the money out of the door, open the door a little bit, fucking hand them the money, and have them go home, right? 90% of the time, because I was so scared. Like, I don't know even know why I would do it, but, and I would do that 2 or 3 times in the night, right? So one time, dude, I remember one time this Russian lady, she had to go or something, right? And I was like, she asked me to watch her dog, right, at her fucking place. I went over there, and she asked me to watch her dog, and I couldn't understand what she was saying. I thought she wanted to do like butt stuff or something, but then she just was trying to get me to watch this fucking dog, dude. So the whole conversation was just ridiculous, bro. Because I kept kind of touching her butt, and she kept kind of pointing at this puppy. I'm just like, what am I doing, dude?
I would be petrified to call a hooker.
Oh, it was so scary.
Petrified. And never mind on coke like I wanted to. Trust me, you're not the only guy that got fucking secret fucking desires. Whenever you do coke and you're by yourself, you're dying to call a freak that's gonna take the ride with you. I could never do it. I could never fucking do it. And if I got somebody to come over, if I jerked off before they come over, then I wouldn't even open the door.
Yeah.
I'd keep that little bit of coke for me. Fuck, you ain't getting none of this.
Oh,
I already
yeah,
cracked them
yeah.
nut. You ain't getting none of this
Yeah,
shit.
I'm out of coke, dude.
I'm out of coke. I'd crash a fucking aspirin and give it to them.
Oh, I remember, yeah. Like, I feel so bad once a hooker was coming over one time. I remember putting on like I didn't want to even seem like I did coke or whatever, so I like remember put on like an apron or something to make it seem like I was like cooking around my house, like just being like an organized guy, you know, like what the fuck? What a loser, dude. This. She's probably like, it's 3:30. This guy's a fucking chef over here. God. I just wanted to look like I was doing something important or whatever, and I didn't have like a, you know, that was the closest thing I had to like a uniform, I guess, or whatever was that. But
I would love to sit with like a psychotherapist that's analyzing people for drugs or something, and just sit there with them for 3 days and tell them the stupid shit, man. And it's not even stupid; it's fucking hilarious when you look at it.
yeah,
When you think about it years later, you're like, that was fun. Like a couple weeks ago, I came down here, the 420. I came down here for the weekend, and I was thinking about in '86 when the Mets won the series or something, or the playoff. I forget what it was. I went to New York to pick up like a couple ounces of coke. I was bringing them back to Colorado, and when I got there, the guy I went to see said to me, "Your coke is ready to go. You got it. You got a house. You can stay at my house." He goes, "I gotta leave. I gotta go away for 3 days to a wedding in Connecticut or something." And he goes, "I forgot you were coming. I hooked you up. You're good to go." We went to eat after the fucking airport, and then he drove me to the house. He goes, "The coke's in there. Go in. My sister's there. My mom. They left you the whole fucking house." I get in there, the fucking hot water heater blew up, and the power went out. So you know, guys like me and you, I wasn't leaving till Sunday. I called some of my friends, but they were fucking busy, and I stayed in that house from Friday to Sunday, snorting coke with a candle and with my pants rolled up because it was all water. So I'm walking around like Jethro Tull, that album from Jethro Tull, with a mirror, navigating myself through the water in this fucking basement with a candle, snorting coke. The sister's like 16. She's down there snorting coke with me. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna go to jail.
It's a damn underground railroad,
Yeah,
brother.
he would call me every hour, like, how's it going over there? I'm like, I'm here with your sister and mom, snorting fucking coke in this fucking, you know. Nobody would believe that. I stayed there till Sunday. And then I get to the airport, Kennedy Airport. It's fucking freezing out. Everybody's got jackets on. There was no tunnels then. You had to walk out and get on the plane. Everybody had jackets on. Dog, I've been doing coke for 3 days. When I walked out, they had a T-shirt on, and steam was coming out of me. And people were looking at me like, what the fuck is he on, right? Like, you can't. That was like a whole afternoon. Then I got on the plane, and I was so coked out. I had the aisle seat. Before the plane took off, they came to me and said, you can't keep getting up and going to the bathroom. I was going every 8 minutes to the bathroom and load up. And then when the plane took off, I actually took the blanket, put it over my head, put the lunch tray down, crushed it up, and I would snort and then pop my head up. And I'm like, nobody knows I'm getting high. But the clinker of that whole fucking day,
Like Punxsutawney Phil, dude.
dog, it was not. And this was every week.
8 more weeks of 8
You
more.
got to remember, this was going on in our lives once a week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I go to
What's
those
done
days
is done, bro.
Planes had like a little bar.
And I broke you with it, so I had to miss the shit.
Like,
My therapist advised me
On the airplane.
to share trauma.
80s and 90s, shit. My fucking
Well, we're not-
Yo, Rabbi Rothschild,
Jet
you got a
Express
Gaza.
was a plane that went out of business.
I know these people named Ross. They're really cool.
The guy would play up there.
Yo,
He was up and down the plane.
bro, you're sounding hotter and hotter every day.
No bars, no nothing.
Clearing his browsing.
Yeah, you go on a plane now, you go on a plane.
Rabbi, you are a strange man.
In the
He's
80s
clearing
and
the
90s,
CPU
you go on
off
a
his
plane
computer.
party. And you could move around and talk to people.
That's
Yeah,
what
how is he doing that?
Why? It wasn't.
Bro, he's doing it hands off. That's free. What? Bro,
Like,
he
you know,
has
drinks by
that
that lady
he has
who
that
free
Jewish
drink.
connections, so he
Oh, so
gets
you're
to
picking
have
up
that
chicks on a plane.
Elon Musk brain.
Oh, come on.
He's got the Neuralink. Yeah, he got the
So I
Neuralink
go to the bar.
early because
I
he's
order
got special
whatever,
powers.
a orange juice,
He's got
whatever
special
I'm drinking.
powers.
What the fuck is he doing?
And Theo, as I'm talking to, it's just me and
He's
him at
trying
the
to
bar.
fucking
A
touch people.
fucking coke rock falls out of my nose.
He
and
doesn't have
lands on
hands
the
free.
lid.
Look at him.
And me and him are looking at it like to see who's gonna speak
Oh, I'm
first.
dead, bro.
And I go,
I feel like Rabbi just pre-records everything and
I
puts it up.
fell off the plane there. And I got back in
Yeah,
my
he
seat.
does.
I was never
Now
so
the Rabbi,
proud.
bro, he's gonna
Are you making like easy, quick emails or what? You're making.
I don't know, but-
I feel like he's like a social experiment or something.
Oh, high on coke?
No, I had a half.
Yeah, no, he's doing some shit. I don't know. Like he's someone controlling like through TV or some shit.
He's gonna be acting like a fucking.
Okay, I'll take a drink. I went to the bar.
Do you think he lives in a shed too?
He's
Yeah.
definitely the next director. I feel like he was a child, bro. He should have.
He lives in-
Very decent
Oh,
guy.
he doesn't have money.
Wait, is he actually
His
working?
thing is named Rothschild.
I don't know, Hitler. Would you do genetic experiments on?
Rocky got that.
I got the bar.
My fucking has advised me to ask that question. Oh, fair enough.
The community was just pouring them in and giving them to
We can
people.
probably guess the
I didn't go back to that
answer.
seat till 3 minutes left.
Absolutely
That girl
not.
was like,
Doesn't matter.
Herman Gomer is my idol.
I had a good time.
There is such a
Would you want
difference
to
in
do
the
be
drums.
a lawyer?
Fucking tight ass.
Hell yeah.
That's the shit that happened all the fucking
I would
time.
never.
Yeah, anything
Bro,
could.
That's actually a
Anything
valid
could
ass
happen.
question.
Anything could happen. Like, yeah, we're gonna go here.
You think he would take all the
Listen,
money?
there was a time when
Rock star!
Take all the money and put you in jail.
That's
after
fuck.
midnight in Newark.
Hey, you dumb, bro. I would be
midnight.
fucker.
And then they'd be like, if you pay me, I'll get you out of jail. And then they just get your sentence extended.
Ooh, yeah, send me to jail.
After midnight too.
That's why you get a green flag. They don't say shit.
Oh my god, you get on that plane and then 200 people fucking whack. You know how you go, wow, fuck, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
What I learned from this
You
report,
know,
usually
Let's
and
go to
the
Miami.
people, the Asians are
You know what I was-
do?
You know what I was missing? Just this, bro. I was missing this.
Pray to God till they get
Oh, that's why we're still feeling bad, bro? Damn.
I don't know. I feel like shit, to be honest,
after
bro. I
midnight,
can't go
fucking
happens.
on the hour.
Is that beer or is that power?
Why would that
power?
fucking? Why would you want to go to my? What would make you want to go to Miami?
XP levels.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
XP boosters.
If you like men, I don't like them.
Bro, you should actually get Adderall. Like, try to get your doctor to prescribe you some Adderall.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that the next time.
Oh, that's a stupid idea if he doesn't have
You
ADHD.
know, fucking get.
I
If you do,
Yeah,
if you actually do,
That's the truth.
yeah, then it's growing because you're not gonna get
They wanted to prescribe it to me and my mom don't pay you. When they found out, she found out they wanted to give me that. She's like, no.
But the thing is, you're not gonna get energy from it. You're gonna get focus. So like you're gonna focus easier. But you're not gonna get high because you're already alright.
My uncle took, uncle gave it to me. I used to tell him, but I used to do what I took it, and I used to take 5. It's split the 10 up. I'll take 5 in the morning, and I would take the other 5 in the afternoon.
I bought an ankle.
And I wouldn't do it a lot. I wasn't
Yeah, I
like,
guess
I
there's a
wasn't.
time when anything could
That
happen.
shit,
Yeah, I told
it's-
this story
bro,
before,
that
but I
shit
was
was
working on
nice.
it one time. I used to love telling people.
That's
that
my
my
great,
house,
bro.
one of
Bro,
my
I
favorite things to do is
fucking
tell people,
clean
like, a
and do the
famous person
dishes
died,
within a
right?
half an hour.
Like
Nigga.
we go to lunch or whatever, I'm like, oh, you know, so-and-so died. Where, you know, and just we could talk about it during lunch and they leave for lunch, right?
I just do that shit normally without being on shit.
What the fuck?
Nah, but imagine how efficient I would be with like Adderall for my streams and my life shit. You know, I'd probably be way more successful.
Yeah, you probably go fight someone.
No, I would.
Fuck, it doesn't give you anger issues. It's not
No, it doesn't. Oh, Rabbi, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, dude, I remember one time I had
Bro, this nigga's a
Rabbi.
or whatever. I hate to.
Rabbi, I'm right, but let you want to
Whoa, magic. Whoa, hands free. Whoa. He has some voodoo shit going on.
Yeah, this hooker got sick one time.
Do we call this, what do we call this? Black magic? Jew magic? What?
Yeah, in in Beverly Hills.
But why you, the question,
No, we texted for a while, and then I changed my number.
Yo, I just
But I
got some
think it was
crazy
fine. We
deja
didn't
vu.
even speak really the same language that much.
question is, why are you making kickholds?
But yeah, but we were. I mean, definitely. Had been
You don't
doing
know,
drugs,
trying to
but
make the
that
bots.
was that,
He's making
you
the
know?
bots.
Oh,
Okay.
Mother's
The
Day.
bot man, okay.
Pretty cool.
Bro, it's got a script. That's not even.
Man, I said,
It's not even.
I got over there and I go
It's
to her
got like a
house,
kind of
right?
Python script.
And I'd never been there. I'd never been to the house that she lives in, but
Yeah, man. Oh, you're doing it for your own stream? Okay, yeah, all right. I respect it. I respect it. I respect it also. Honestly, I respect it also. Everyone has to start. Dude, someone has to. Everyone has to start.
That would be my mom, you know, because that's how she is.
So
I'm
yeah,
going to visit and she goes,
dude,
"Nah."
you know the story about how Mike started?
When I look through the window, through the blinds, and through the back window, it's open.
Have you heard about the story about how Mike started with the shit? It was something long.
This was the first time I ever met him, like,
The guy
he never, like, said, like,
found some 50 different computers at the library, and he start somewhere. You can buy that shit. Nice, saving his money. Come on, he's trying to make money from streaming.
Give us $45 off. She was by herself. And who's down there with her? Nobody. She likes to be by herself. She's always like calm. Like, you know, I'm in the same road. You sit there and you go, nobody calls me to do anything. And when they do call, you know, I'm living a life now off of Bill Hicks. That's what I'm doing. Bill Hicks had the greatest joke that couldn't get into. Marijuana does not make you lazy. It just makes you realize that what you're going to do just ain't worth doing. And that's where I'm at in my point in my life now. This days I go, you know what? For me to get into this party, I got to drive an hour and a half. By the time I get back, and I got to hear shit, and you know, it's just 1,000 variables. You give yourself excuses. yeah. But then again, Tom Hardy says that once you spend time alone,
You know, back when the Albanians were with the Germans, and you know, we were slaughtering Slavic people for the Germans.
At this age and at any age, from the time I was 20, my favorite thing, yeah, everybody likes to have sex. Everybody likes to eat good food. But between me and you, give me a joint and a good book and put me in a corner. I'm good.
And then my boy told me,
hours, take a bite of the sandwich. I love reading. Yeah. That's the happiest I am. When I'm fucking reading. If I don't have a book now in the hotel, I go back and start looking up recuperation for men over 60, benefits of boxing, you know, benefits of breathing. You know, I'm a fucking idiot, but I like to read. I love it. That's my thing. Yeah, I'm one of those fucking idiots. You press benefits on my page,
but actually,
that should be,
imagine
benefits of drinking water, benefits of washing your ass, benefits of doing, you know,
that's not funny, bro.
benefits. I want to know.
I was laughing for a real nigga. I was laughing at you. You know how retarded my reels are.
You don't read a book in a team. You don't read a book with 20 people.
Cedric, you're fucking bio. I'm dead.
I love it.
Nigga, you're a pedophile. Nigga, you're a pedophile.
Bro, that's my bio. Oh my god.
That's my favorite.
To get banned, bro. Like, look, I got banned for having one ult for like 24 hours extra. Cedric has 15 ults in this fucking server and still walking.
Yeah, I think sometimes I do compare myself to just like people that aren't comics that much, and then you have to realize how odd it is to do that job. It's an odd thing to do. Job. If you saw an animal do it in the woods, you'd be like, that fucking animal's out of his fucking mind. We're crazy. We're crazy as standard. We're not normal. We are not normal. There's something, you have to come to terms with all the things we are as comics. We can't question them. That's who we are.
You could have been a doctor. We could have been a lawyer. We could have been a bum. We could have been a hooker.
Yeah.
We chose something that, I don't know why I chose it. I just love Richard Pryor. And I knew once I had the felonies, I wasn't going to do anything else that I really liked.
Yeah.
This is not, comedy is a profession for fucking guys like us. Me and you have a little darkness in our past. We can't figure out what it is, but it makes us tick.
Yeah. I love hearing Richard Pryor too, man.
I
love hearing him say the N-word.
Me too.
My mom wouldn't let us say it. And we're like, well, fuck, man, we got to hear it, And so I remember we would hear him say it, dude.
Just those books like by, who's the crazy white guy?
Mark Twain?
No.
Mark Wahlberg?
The comic before fucking Richard Pryor. There was a white guy, Lenny Bruce. Have you ever read any of his books?
Yeah, one of his books.
Next time you're having a hard time with yourself, go order one of his books. Ladies and gentlemen, Legendary, How to Talk Dirty, any of those books. He has one particular book. That one, the black one there.
The Essential Lenny Bruce.
That one. That book will tell you more about yourself than you know about yourself.
Wow.
He lived at the Chelsea Hotel. He partied with strippers and jazz musicians and did heroin every night. There was no responsibility. He got up when he got up. He didn't have to be at work till 11 o'clock at night. Remember, they only did fucking burlesque shows. In fact, you ever go to Jackson, Tennessee?
I don't think I have.
Jackson's like an hour outside of Nashville. Jackson's got a comedy club. That used to be a burlesque club.
Wow.
And Lenny Bruce used to play there in the 50s and 60s.
Stop the fucking dogs. And that's not
I'm not
prostitution,
doxing.
Yeah, you fucking are.
Google it. It's a
You
comedy
do
club.
that
Cedric, she did. Cedric, listen, calm down.
Calm down. That's
No, it's bullying and harassment. No, it's bullying and harassment.
Shut the
Bad
fuck up.
Yeah. And I was going back to
How long
see
you
my
talking
brother.
for? Shut the fuck up.
Listen, wait, calm down. Yo, chill.
Allow this
Chill, Cedric, chill. Cedric, chill. Chill.
This is why you don't get laid, Cedric.
No, listen. Okay, oh my God.
I don't fucking care. I'm sick of
I will not allow this racism against my girl.
You just don't fucking run. You don't go out and fucking do juice squat out. I'm sorry. Hey, but
You're really bad.
you got sir. Yeah.
Lunar Dude said you're annoying.
That's some I just came back. What are we yelling about? I'm a little confused.
Gathered what you wanted to find.
There's a severely autistic man with
He's from his rich.
With my friends, with my family, I'm just at
Did
peace.
you have any amends to make whenever you got there? No, everything's pretty
You
clear.
are not allowed to cannot talk to me after a fucking again. I am sick and tired of social. I
Fucking leave
then. No fucking respect.
He fucked me over 30 years ago. Well, guess what? He did something with his life. There are two options. The guy fucked me over, but he died in a car accident. Fuck him. He deserved what he got. He was a scumbag. Or, you know what, man? The guy robbed me. He had some problems. He did. After he got his life together.
No, he was being racist. He was being racist against my country, bro. Like, are we just going out loud this month? Huh?
I just want
We're like, Hitler, don't push it. You also push it to her, bro. Come on.
we've been watching all the time. It's a
I feel really unsafe with him.
a lot of rejection.
He's not embarrassing, even though I'm saying this, bro.
Getting in, checking at the station, walking there, don't even know my lines, don't even give a
I'm not
fuck.
fucking trolling you. We're not gonna fucking ban a guy just because you guys are like, yo, man, that's how it works. I never said that. I never said that.
Walk outside, scream the N-word in my head,
He's not
go
gonna
back
do
out to a
that.
fucking thing, return my bag, get my ID back,
Off the party, stripper.
and fucking go on.
Honestly, I have to say,
What we did, we
cry about it, and then
got
you
that
walk
way,
in the next
figured
last
it
night,
out.
so we felt bad for you because you were like,
Listen,
fucking me.
that's
Shut the
No, listen,
fuck up,
listen,
Bobby.
listen, listen, I think
I think the reason he's angry is because like you were showing people like at my place he's fucking government aid for some shit.
What? No, it was that scrambling. I would do
Wait, you did Cedric?
that night. I didn't want to eat lunch. I would rob the gas station.
No, you're crazy. No, I'm joking.
Get a turkey burger. Fucking and get a burger nobody knows that looks like that. Showcase the James.
Yeah, that's
Bro, you called him a retard. Come on.
He is a retard.
It goes both ways. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just you listen to you, bro.
I can't get made.
Cedric Lapoco sent me money.
Yeah.
And most people
How much
would
did
have
he
quit.
send you?
We did something for
$300.
a lot of people.
Say on God.
You know what?
Mother's life
I mean,
is 300.
listen, I
Well,
understand that. I
honestly,
fucking
he
definitely
asked me
understand.
to swear on my father.
But for me, I think it was
Okay, swear
time
on your
to
father.
move on to the next job.
No, I'm not going to swear on my father, but he did
Yeah,
send
but
me
you
money.
swear on Jewish
He
people.
sent me money. He sent me money.
That's cool, man. I feel better. I didn't even read it, but I did just order it today. I didn't even know you had written it.
Okay, but when you
Hey,
say he sent you
actually, you know what? I
300
just
versus 45, that's a crazy
time
difference.
over Zoom. I think you
If
remember
he wants to
telling
send
me.
me
Yeah.
$300, let him send me $300.
That's awesome. Tremendous.
I was trying to write that book for fucking 20 years.
I know a lot of comics always had that book rolling
Wait,
around.
can
in
we
the
hear
book.
us?
Then I kept writing,
Honestly,
making
No,
notes, and
it's
then I
happening right
kept trying to hook up with a writer.
Tremendous.
And then I hooked up with
Tell
Jimmy
this stuff.
Florentine's niece.
Yeah,
Really?
Young niece, and she fucking helped me. And
He's scared of
listen,
stealing.
man, we sold some copies. We made it number 9 on the audio book in New York Times, which were dirty
Dude, he has
comics.
a
And
gun.
it's not too fucking bad. Like
Rocky got that.
Rocky got that
baby.
cock on the
Oh,
cover,
dude.
before you were saying something really funny.
You know, me,
Cedric threatened they find my social security erased me. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, dude. And so we go like on Boy Scouts wherever my buddy was on Boy Scouts. And so I remember one time I went on a camping trip with them.
makes me feel
And right when
in
we started
danger.
out, I told everybody Jay Leno had died, right? I've told this story before, but I love it.
No, wouldn't it be funny to make a
died.
YouTube video about Cedric?
And so all the dads are like, so sorry to hear that. And so then throughout the rest of the weekend, I'd be in my tent, right? And I'd hear the dads out there talking when I'm telling them, you know, Jay Leno passed away. I would be in my tent, bro.
Oh, God.
Howling, bro. Laughing at a level where it was like coming out of my fucking spine.
I'll give it to you. You're a
I
good
don't know
liar.
why stuff like that made me laugh so
No,
much.
I
I think it was like a control, like a
He's
hidden
lying.
control, or that was affecting things without them knowing. It just, it was.
When you fuck with people, I'm gonna expose fucking with people like Molly, probably.
I'm gonna make a YouTube video about the shit about it, Cedric.
It's always great. The best thing I ever think I did, and I did it on accident.
Wait,
It was Chuck Liddell.
I will watch the video.
Chuck
Me,
Liddell was the fucking
will
king of
make
the
the video.
UFC. He was the
Yup,
king of the
yup, and
UFC.
Sienna, I want you to be on it. I need you to.
So,
Wait,
I gotta call
Sienna,
him.
why did you actually send you money?
No.
I don't
I
fucking
find
know. I
out
didn't
that-
ask him for it.
You said it was because it was your birthday, and then later on he said it was your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. He doesn't even know why he sent
So
me
I call
money. He
Eddie.
just pressed like, oh, he sent me money.
You should. No, but Sienna, you should feel bad.
Who's that? How are you, Doug?
Why should I make you feel bad? I didn't know you was giving me money.
Hey, just one moment. I'm gonna come in with a different device.
This is Dana White's fucking man. Dana White's got no hair. He lost the hair. He was gonna get his children. Fucking, how could this be? Eddie Bravo called Dana and says, Liddell died. Not Liddell, Fidel, you fuck.
That's fucking good. I love that kind of shit. Did your parents come over from Cuba? Both of them? Wow.
I'm 100%. There ain't no fuck. Well,
How's life,
I
Doug?
went there when I was a student.
yeah, you told me. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Wow. It looks really nice.
But we didn't speak enough Spanish.
Yes, I can hear you.
Where did you go to college?
Oh, no, I didn't. So what I've had to do is just jam the power cord into it as best as I can. And at a certain point, the phones that I get aren't worth saving. I mean, I'm not saying they're not good phones, but to get a new one is like more economically viable. So, for instance, like it's an iPhone 8. I mean, they don't even make that anymore. To buy a new one is like, I don't know, $120 maybe. To get it fixed is like $140. Exactly. And so, and even still, you can buy an iPhone XR or like an iPhone SE, like a newer version, like a more recent phone, for like $120 as well. So, no, I did not. What are you rolling with? You have an Android or an iOS? You know, and oh, okay, that's a good device. Android has a really nice like openness of its software generally, and I can tell you one of the things that I use, for which I use it, are auto clickers. And I don't know if they could help you at all, but I've been using them for now more than like for years now. Okay, so what does an auto clicker do for you? I don't know. Do you play any fucking games on your phone? Okay, or like if you do like Tinder or like dating apps, like, you know, your time is valuable. And sometimes you don't want to sit there just like swiping right or pressing a button on your phone, whatever. So you can do auto clickers for yourself that basically do all this on your behalf. And you can do these with Samsung devices, or I should say Android devices, much easier than you can with iOS devices. Yeah, so there's a way that you, in my opinion, that you do that, as opposed to, it used to work. Now, does it currently work? I don't know. But basically, with Tinder, you swipe right on every chick and then allow them to swipe whatever left, and then, or swipe right back on you. But basically, it never hurts you to always have the girl match with you, and then you just go through the matches that you like, as opposed to like, well, maybe I would have matched with that person, maybe I wouldn't have. Just match with all of them, and then if they match with you, then once they're in your DMs, basically, then you can choose which ones you want. But I understand there's the standard way to do it. There's definitely the standard way of doing it too. Dog, absolutely. These things are going. I can't say 24/7 because I have to reset them every once in a while. But they're very good. They're very consistent, and the people in Discord are really the people. Like, I'll go into any Discord, and people will be like, "Dude, you're the biggest clout chaser we've ever met." Be like, "Good, I'm glad." And like, that's a feather in my cap, basically. And the reason is because I am doing my best to get my name out there. And so if you already know about me, like, I can go into someone's Discord, like this guy Heel Mike. I go into this guy's Discord last night, and he has a really fucking cool house, or like deal going on. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but he basically built his own house with just Instagram chicks, and he's got this Discord. I go into it, and I've never like really participated in this Discord. I'd never joined it before, and already when I turn on my camera, people know who I am. And it's like a totally random Discord. Normally, under general circumstances, you're not going to know who a random person is. But because I do so much advertising or self-promotion on myself, that well, then we switched the conversation from, hey, everybody talk about Rabbi Rothschild, to, hey, we need world peace. And how are we going to do it? And so basically, in my opinion, the best way to achieve world peace with any group of people is to get them at the same table and have them have a shared meal. There's something about the sharing of a meal between two enemies that humanizes both sides. And that, in my opinion, would be very, very important to do. So perhaps in the Middle East, perhaps in Ukraine and Russia, have this occur, and to have diplomatic discussions at a more human level. Additionally, there's a lot of technology out there that we either as humans aren't using, aren't utilizing, or don't even know about. And I have a plethora of this technology that I have archived over the years, and now is the time to learn about it. So what is this technology? Things like invisibility cloaks and anti-gravity weapons and space elevators and no, not stealth. Stealth's different. Stealth is being oh no, I haven't. Yeah, so people have said that perhaps this is a trait of some advanced technology, advanced fighters. Exactly. So certainly reverse engineered, perhaps, or just extremely advanced aircraft. I absolutely understand. But these are things that we need to discuss that aren't currently being discussed. But on a bigger level, it's about ending world hunger and ending world thirst. And how do we do that? Well, 3 really good ideas for world hunger are vertical farming, are the hydroponics, and are cloud seeding. For world thirst, desalination plants, digging of wells, and life straws. Right. Desalination plants is what it is. Exactly. Exactly. And so, especially in the developing world, it doesn't make sense to me why they can have a coastline but still be thirsty. We need to fix that. And people aren't out there. Influencers aren't out there necessarily. Some do what they can or whatever. But I'm someone who has so much data, an overwhelming amount of data, that literally it's going to take over the world when people start to find out about it. And they are starting to. And here's how I'm doing it. There's this Discord. Some of these bigger influencers have Discords that allow for self-promotion. And if they allow for self-promotion, I just plaster it with my shit. Because that's what it's for. It's a self-promotion channel. And then random ass people will go in there and they'll be like, yo, what in the fuck is all this? And I'll be like, look at it. It's literally like years worth of content. You can go through all of this. You can make fun of it with all your friends. Do whatever. Rip me apart. I'm basically putting myself out there as a target on purpose. Come after me. Because if people come after me, yeah, and if people come after me, then they'll realize that I have a lot of interesting takes on life, and perhaps they're going to want to be interested in my stream. And they tell one person, that person tells another person, that person tells another person, etc.
Did you remember like a funny story that you did you have like a real fun memory that you remember with your mind? Oh,
I appreciate that. And I want you to know on a daily basis, whenever I see you just hop in to one of my chats, even if I'm awake, I'm asleep, I'm in the bathroom, whatever it may be, when you say, hey, Rabbi, hope you're having a good day, Baruch Hashem, that just makes my fucking day. So you should just know that's a wonderful thing that you do, and it will, I think, be archived in the future as I have it archived, and you'll be seen, obviously, as a very good person, but also I think that type of behavior will be more widespread. When people realize that their every action is being recorded when they interact with you, you have an incredible amount of power over them. And when people realize on the internet that there might be someone out there recording their bad actions and not everything that they're doing is anonymous, it's going to change global behavior very quickly. People will treat people with more respect.
Finally, somebody gives me like a shot of whiskey, and I'm like in the 7th grade, and all of a sudden I take him upstairs, and I'm like, and my mom was daddy would make eye contact with my mom. I just held her hand, and she took me upstairs.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm in this one Discord that I went in last night, and I mean, these guys just want to pick a fight with me on the Talmud, and it's like, look, I didn't write it. I want to modernize it. I don't want to hurt people. I want world peace. That is my mission. I'm not a rabbi of 1,300 years ago who is writing this. That isn't something that, frankly, even is of interest to me when it comes to the big picture. That is a historical book. I want to talk about the future of the world, life extension technology, traveling the stars, mind uploading technology, digital immortality. So when people want to say, like, hey, well, what do you think about, like, you know, the raping of children and all these other things? It's like, look, I'm not here to defend a historical book. I'm here to talk about world peace and how we get there and how we advance as a civilization. If you want to talk about the historical books, we can, but I honestly think that's best left to you and your local Orthodox rabbi, because everybody's going to have their own take on it. I focus on the future of humanity, the future of everyone on earth, and that's what's really of interest to me. And, exactly, and I also see a much more open world when it comes to Judaism. We'll be able to provide that. So all of the things that the people are like, hey, I want to learn the Talmud right now. Okay, well, guess what? We're not going to be able to do that in this Discord with 14 people talking over us, right? Everything in time. I have anticipation to have like the world's foremost course on both the Torah, Tanakh, Bible, whatever you want to consider it, also Talmud and everything else, every piece of Jewish writing historically that we have. And I'll have enough time to do that when I have, you know, the time and right. But essentially what I'm saying is, I think that there's certainly time to do all of that stuff, and I'd like to do it, but I want to do it correctly. Not even I know it as well as I would like to, and so it'll be essentially we'll learn together as a community, and every single person out there has a little bit to give to this project, should they wish. And so I'll get my rabbinical colleagues, and we will certainly put together a really nice compilation of explanations of the text. But again, why am I here? Why do I do this? It's not to talk about ancient documents. It's about to talk about the future and about mind uploading technology and being able to scan your brain into a machine for later download into a cyborg, a cybernetic being, a robot, an avatar, an ethereal being, a clone of yourself, whatever you want. And if you don't want that, that's cool too.
There was nothing like it, bro. People, I remember a deaf kid even
exactly.
Called me, talked to me, and so he was excited about that. People fucking came out of their own diseases and malfunctions. You understand?
Oh, you're 100% right. If you look at any advanced civilization, whether it's in like what people believe to be advanced civilizations that visit here on Earth, which you may be more skeptical of, and I completely understand that, or even from science fiction, or if you even think of just how civilizations work, you basically have to have taken care of everything at home before you go explore. Essentially, you don't have a country. Exactly. You can't go explore the new world while your country is having a civil war. You have to take care of things at home first. So in the same way, we have to take care of things on Earth before we go and explore the stars. And so the way that we have to do that is to
Yeah, I don't want a week down here. I don't want to be down here for a week.
well, so that's a question that was raised by President Reagan and other presidents, but most vividly in his message to the United Nations during the 1980s. Now, I can say, in my opinion, we're already visited. We've been visited. We're a seated civilization here, perhaps, and I mean, it depends how you want to define that, but I'm in agreement with you as well. I think probably most apt might be hybrids. Basically, we have organic evolution, but we've had our evolution perhaps changed. Our DNA has been changed according to Bob Lazar. Pardon me, you said about the algae that builds up? You're saying, how do we get that? There you go.
I went to Creek in the Cave, I went to Black Rabbit, and I think that's it. But amongst those clubs, I did like.
There you go. So these are questions that I want to talk about. These are important discussions. Well, anyway, when I get into a Discord, oh my God, do people just want to shit on me? And that's absolutely fine. I want them to shit on me for the right reasons, though. Shit on me because I'm a clout chaser. Shit on me because I self-promote. Shit on me for that kind of stuff. And exactly, I do. So anyway, I mean, I'll take any attention I can get. So currently what I'm doing is just being live in people's Discords, and that gets me a lot of attention. Not an overwhelming amount. It can if I want. So how do I get an overwhelming amount of attention in a Discord? All I have to do is talk in it. However, so many fucking people want to pick fights with me, and I don't mean to be this like, oh, woe is me. I deserve it in some ways because I fucking annoy people with my robots. I get that, but even if I'm just quiet and I don't say anything, people just be like, I don't want him in here. I don't want him in here because I don't like him. I don't like his name. I don't like all this other shit. It's like, dog, that's fine, but the world doesn't revolve around you, sweetheart. And yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's what we've been doing. How are things in your neck of the woods?
Let's go to lunch Saturday and then go to the fight. Perfect. Even if you don't go to the fight, it'll be great.
No. Saturday we'll go.
Excellent. Are you able to grow your own?
So you come over.
I'll cruise up early Saturday.
Yeah.
Right there. Drop it off right down the block. Yeah, drop it off right down the block.
Okay, I gotcha.
That sounds good. That's JJ.
I mean,
that's
like,
JJ Braddock. Finish the story about JJ Braddock. If you met him.
Do you have the ability to like once if they make it legal, will you be able to grow it on your land?
I remember his son. He had a son that was.
Oh, that's tight. Are you just gonna plant it all over and see what happens?
The family still owns the house. I never saw him die.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I understand.
People like think he was like a hero.
And hopefully it's not too much longer. Hopefully it's not that much longer for the complete decriminalization of it. Well, didn't they change it to now it's Schedule 3? Exactly, but you're absolutely right. It used to be heroin your entire life, and for 100 years it was as bad. And I think now as well, you know what's actually a really good idea? I don't know what kind of land you have, but hemp is now becoming more and more legal. Oh, okay. So they have hemp fields already where you are. Right. Right. I gotcha. What do you think of our man Caspian C here? Hey, well, somebody's got to man the watch. So while he's asleep, I'm manning the watch, and when I'm asleep, he's manning the watch.
And he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "The question is, what are you doing here?" I go,
"Yeah, he's just moving around. He looks like a little Viking. I think we all enjoy it. Good for him." And yeah, he's been a good friend. Do you know how I met Caspian C? Who's that?
I bumped into him, started talking to him like he knew me for 10 years. I don't know.
He was a viewer who would come into my streams and originally learned about me from another YouTuber. Basically, this YouTuber, their claim to fame is to be the biggest troll on YouTube. And one day they came into one of my streams, and after like an hour of trying, they weren't able to troll me, just because I troll myself, and I'm pretty self-confident, so you can basically say whatever you want to me. And he moved on, and this caught Caspian C's attention. So Caspian C would come into my streams every so often and became a regular viewer. And then one day I was like, "Hey, why don't you come into the Telegram if you're interested?" And they eventually came into the Telegram, and now they basically live here, which is tight. I like it. I like having the ability to speak with people. Of course, it's cool to just be able to type to them and stuff, but to be able to see someone face to face, that's important. I'm not saying you have to do it all the time. I'm not even saying you have to do it at all. Even if I can hear your voice. Exactly. Even just being able to hear someone's voice is important when you're trying to make a connection with them. Of course, you can through chat. There are people who live their entire marriages before getting married up into a chat. You know what I mean? Like, there are those stories. I'm not saying you can't connect with an individual, but generally, you know, the more connection you can make with them. So anyway, I got these robots going, and not that it's super important, but basically, like, they don't work every single time. I could work on them so that they work every single time, but basically yeah, exactly. Here's what happens.
All right, we have new merch.
They will,
like
for instance, I was using this temporary email service, and the temporary email service that I've been using had a certain way when you went to their website, it always showed up the same way. But then they added a page, like a little pop-up, which fucks up everything. Because, you know, like if they added a pop-up and I've got my little robot that just does what it's supposed to do, and they add a variable to it, it can cause a fuck-up. So with them changing that means I have to change it on 4 different devices. And but I mean, to be honest with you, it's something called, have you ever heard of the mirror exposure effect, Jacob?
Comedians on Earth.
Yeah.
He's a
no, it has to do, it's a psychological
and that's a tough
hypothesis
thing to be
or theory that the more you interact with a product or a person or anything, the more you like it. So the idea is this. You may not like Coca-Cola ever. You may never have had a Coke, but the fact that Coca-Cola advertises so fucking much, you recognize it, and you're more apt to have a positive indication of that company. Does that make sense? Yeah, to some extent. Basically, the more that you see a symbol, or the more that you find out about a person, you familiarize yourself with it, and then just naturally you like them. So, for instance, like there may be... Yes, exactly. So there may be... Exactly. So there may be like I didn't really understand this that much, or didn't realize it was being done to me until I started learning more about it. But basically, like if you have a situation, like take for instance a celebrity who you don't like they'll just take a celebrity and throw them down your throat. Whatever celebrity it may be, the more that you see that celebrity over years and years and years, you'll just like understand who they are. You'll learn more about them, and you'll just grow more accustomed to them. Whether it's a positive or negative, that's up to an individual to decide. But over enough time, you'll just have more of a positive view of that person generally. And so what I'm doing is just taking advantage of that principle with my robots. Exactly. Exactly. So basically, first they ignore me, then they hate me, then they'll fucking love me. And they actually, I don't want to say they fucking love me, but some people do. They come into my stream and tell me they love me, which is a really nice thing. And for as close as you can get to someone, absolutely. And that makes me feel like $1 million. So you should just know.
Yeah, and his wife doesn't have anything.
Right.
Everything he wants. He's giving his wife nothing. Oh, it's 3 children. And he named them all after.
Right. Look, I understand there are reasons to hate an individual, but at least in this case, I haven't done anything to them that's so bad. So at least give me a chance. That's all I ask.
You just bought a Porsche, too.
You're absolutely right. But if anybody's taking the bull by the horns, I have. Hit me with your hate right away. Let me know everything you don't like about me, and let's move on from there.
I found the crutches at CVS.
That's how I see it. Excellent. All right, my friend. I'm going to take care of some stuff with my Discord, my Discord tablets. And so if I'm not in stream, excellent, my friend. Come back. I know you will. And maybe Caspian C and I will be bouncing ideas off each other when you come back. Take care, Jacob. You as well. Bye.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair.
There's Jacob, everybody.
And it's just gel.
Very nice person. Very nice person. How did we meet Jacob?
Yeah,
Jacob was also a viewer who was just randomly in my streams. And one day, this was actually really interesting.
You know,
if you're watching this,
it's a dress shoe. You know,
one day I was singing a Disney song. I was just randomly singing it. I was singing from Aladdin, Prince Ali, fabulously, Ali, blah, blah. And I saw one of the chatters type, like, strongest 10 regular men down on me, something like that. And they said it right away. And I knew they were a real person, and I knew they had just been watching me. So it was like, oh, hey, dude, you just heard me? Hey, let's connect.
Really?
Come into this fucking Discord, and they did.
Take a photo. Show the respect. Show the Lincoln.
Not Discord. Into this fucking Telegram.
Abe Lincoln
Abe Lincoln was one of our, you like to salute our first responders. No one responded like there on that.
He was like a first responder to slavery, kind of in a way, I think, wasn't he?
There were probably some people before him who had thoughts on it, but he was definitely out there.
Yeah, he was like, as far as our history books tell us, he was kind of like one of the guys out there, like, hey.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. He was like an EMT kind of for slavery.
He was an absolute EMT. He did CPR in this country. This country was being ripped apart. This country was dragged under a car. And he did CPR on it. Because you would do CPR on someone who's dragged under a car.
John Mulaney, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. We've never met. We saw each other in passing at the Improv the other day.
That was the first time, I think.
Yeah.
I might have crossed paths at the store once.
Yeah.
But I think it was at the Improv maybe 2 months ago.
Dude, thanks for all your amazing comedy, man.
Thanks for yours.
You are really interesting to watch. I love like this you have like this. You're doing your act. It's nonstop, right? Like I feel like when I watch you, I get my money's worth.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Because it's like there's almost a couple of things going on. Sometimes you're telling a story or you're telling a joke, but you're also commenting on it with like this, and that's how it's gonna be. Like it's almost like there's this other character, and I can't really figure out what the other character is. Like if it comes from like somebody in your life, or if it's like a. Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
You mean the way I sound on stage, or you're talking about some other ingredient?
And that's it's like I'm watching a story. It's almost like an insider trading. It's almost like this other guy kind of pops out at you at the same time, and like kind of comments on what's going on, but it's like
there's someone out there, there's someone in me who doesn't like the show. Yeah. And who's embarrassed maybe by the fact that he's doing it. You know, like when those multiple personalities come out on an episode of Law and Order?
Yeah.
And they're like, Franklin's not here right now. You know, and you got to deal with that guy. There's someone in there who's like, by the way, I fucking loathe telling this story.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just, man, it's so awesome to watch. It's so awesome
That's
to
nice
watch.
of you to say. I appreciate that. Thanks for
because I'm like, when's that guy gonna pop? You know, it's like I can't. It almost gives me something else to look forward to while I'm enjoying the show. You know,
okay,
is that not only is John performing, I'm watching, but then there's this other guy who's also part of John, who's gonna chime in every now and then and tell me something.
Dude, I had a psychiatrist when I was 17, and he told me, he goes, half of you is this really nice guy who wants to, you know, do the right thing and be a good person, and the other half of you is a gorilla whose sole purpose in life is to destroy the first time. Wow. I think that I could see that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I feel I could relate to a lot of that. I don't know if mine's a gorilla, mine's more probably a chimp maybe, or...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty scary, too. That's nothing to shake a stick at.
Oh, a chimp can rip your genitals off.
It'll throw them 500 feet. That's the story, at least.
Yeah.
That's, you know, the birthday cake story. Right? A guy had 2 chimps, brought one a birthday cake and not the other. It seems like Chimp 101.
Yeah,
bring one for both.
Yeah, you got a double cake.
And then pop hands off, ripped his hands off, ripped his feet off, ripped his genitals off, threw them 500 feet.
Oh.
I mean, there's lots of stories like that. That's just the one I've sort of.
But the worst part is if your hands aren't there, by the time you get to your genitals, you can't even scoop them up.
Yeah, if you walk the 500 feet, which you can't, because you don't have feet either. He was like, you can't walk, you can't do anything, you can't reproduce. It was like bam, bam, bam. No torso shit. He went for the prize areas.
He went for the things that really, wow, that's it right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, this looks like, world's most horrific chimp attacks. As raging apes rip off people's faces, hands, and genitals.
But I think, say you get the feet are gone, so he took the feet off.
So you just Googled chimp birthday cake and that came up. Okay, so I have some of the details correct. Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think, if somebody took my feet off and I don't have any feet, I think you could still stick over there, kind of.
But that's...
You know, like that Oscar Pistorius guy or something?
But you're talking about the first moment you lose your feet, you think you could stick it?
If you don't look at the feet, I think, and you stay out of that shock moment,
okay.
I think, and you just drive forward, we still have feet.
I feel like it would take a while of the physical therapy with the bars, with the ballet dancer bars on either side, stumping around. And then, I don't know, I just can't imagine that I could get up and stump it over to my balls and pants. Meanwhile, I still got to sing happy birthday.
Oh, that's true.
Because you're forgetting that it's still a celebration for the one chimp. So that's rude, you know?
Dude, I was at an AA meeting, right? I go to AA, and so I was at an AA meeting.
In person or over Zoom?
In person.
Okay.
And some guy had...
Only because there were so many over Zoom.
Oh, yeah, there were so many.
Some meetings stayed.
Yeah. And some guy had a seizure in the meeting, right? Shit. And this other lady, was her birthday in the meeting, and they sing happy birthday to everybody.
Yeah.
So she literally stepped over the guy. It was her birthday. It was her moment. It was like, I'm going to get my cake, you know?
So was it like, were you all about to present the cake and the guy had a seizure?
Yeah. They're like, Rondra got 6 years or something, right? So she comes up and everybody's like, happy birthday. And the guy seizures up.
Shit.
And then she's just like, steps over him to me, right? Like,
yeah. She sang to me.
Yeah, I think nothing was going to take her shine, you know?
Also,
so it's interesting.
Even on regular birthdays, I don't know people that sing to me, but I like that.
Yeah, I think it's like, well, times have changed, John. I think people it's about them now.
That's a good point. Times have changed.
But I think, dude, I think if my feet were gone, if I don't know about that, I'm running on pure adrenaline. You know, they lift cars off of children, off of families.
That's what they say. Yeah. I mean, I assume those stories are true.
I think they have. I think. Look up unique
unique powers.
Mom,
Google unique.
Yeah, Google unique powers from
Mom adrenaline.
Yeah. Ooh. Now maybe that's what we're starting to sell.
Search terms. How it's possible for a normal person to live.
All right. In 2012, Lauren Kornacki, a 22-year-old woman
No, create a BBC account. Let's
Yeah.
You can't look at anything anymore. You ever try to look up song lyrics? What a fucking mess those websites are.
They won't let you look at those either?
No, it's just like tons of. It's just they're the most insane A to Z lyrics or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, I love
They have
looking those
more
up.
pop-up ads. It's like, do you not want us to know what the singer was saying?
Right. Yeah, and now people are putting like weird, like, you know, everything I do it for T-Mobile. Like people are playing the songs wrong because the ads are popping in.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It is interesting how there's so much ads. I think to go back to this, I think if you had pure adrenaline going, but the saddest part would be to get to your own genitals and not be able to pick. You'd almost have to balance them on your.
Yeah. It's like the end of the Twilight Zone where the guy breaks his glasses. You finally get to your genitals, but you don't have hands. And you got to decide what you scoop up with your mouth.
Oh,
for real.
Wow, bro, that is crazy. And then what? Yeah, I don't know what you take. Well, you have to take your gonads because if you want to have a family.
Yeah, you have to see what kind of condition. I mean, you do have to make a split second. What kind of condition are these in? By the way, I'm assuming the chimp is making a beeline for you and not at all done. Especially if you stuck it and sunk away.
Yeah, that's true. Probably
he's going to be right behind you. He didn't mean to just,
God, man, it's so harrowing to think what you would do in certain instances, And if you have because I even notice like if I get like scared at night,
yeah.
I'll even say like, is somebody there? Like somebody's gonna be like,
you mean you're lying in bed and you hear a noise type scare?
Yeah, like I'll get, I mean, I'm tough and everything, but I will also, in addition to being tough, I will like go be like, hey, is somebody there? Like I'll do like, who's,
Yeah.
And like they're gonna say something back, like I'm here,
Burglar. Yeah.
And it's always a burglar in my mind, It's always that kind of Home Alone-esque type of fella.
You think it's someone coming in to steal items and just hoping no one wakes up and asks, is anyone there?
Yeah.
And you just, I think about home invasion most of the day. I mean, do you ever yell, I have a gun?
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I have a gun.
I have a gun.
Oh, that's not a
with authority, right?
I have a gun.
Now, when you say you're a tough guy,
see, I would mess it up.
When you say you're a tough guy, in that moment, you're in your home, someone's coming in, you don't know what they're about. Do you feel tough?
At first, I don't, right? Okay. But then I have to remember, hey, you are tough.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Then I will be able to be tough.
Tough meaning I know how to fight. Do you do?
I'll go to like jiu-jitsu classes.
Okay,
and stuff like that,
all right,
but
that's
not a ton though.
Okay,
just enough to like maybe take care of like a drunk guy in a pizza parlor.
The mixed martial arts.
No,
okay.
No.
All right,
I'm a huge fan of it.
Sure,
but I'm a one-stripe white belt, and there are 4-year-olds that are that, or 7-year-olds probably, not 4. But so it's not an insane thing to get. But I mean, I do know that so say there's somebody, I hear something, right?
Yeah.
I get out of bed, I go over, and then I realize the scariest part is you have to turn a corner in your home. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So from now on, I turn and I go like, I'll turn and be like, hey, I will turn like, I'm here or something like that, like something so that if there is somebody there about to attack me, they're not just gonna get onto something that's like sinking away.
Yeah, I had a T-shirt I bought at Kanye West's Life of Pablo tour. Mm-hmm. It was a double XL airbrush T-shirt, and on the front it had a airbrush painting of Donda West. Mm-hmm. Okay, and on the back it had an airbrush painting of Robert Kardashian, Kim Kardashian's late father, and O.J. Simpson's attorney. I was at home a few years back, and it was New Year's. It was a couple days after New Year's, and I'd had a New Year's party where there'd been balloons and shit. So the house was still, messy from it. Middle of the night, the alarm goes off, screaming alarm. Like the loud ass someone just came in through the door alarm.
Oh.
So I get out, fucking threadbare boxers, Dawn to West Robert Kardashian t-shirt. I reach behind the bed for my Easton bat, and it's not there.
Oh.
I must have been showing it off downstairs. Okay, so now I'm going. I'm out in the hallway, and I'm like, I gotta rush down the stairs, which had 2 turns to it.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I've got nothing except maybe the t-shirt to buy me some time of confusion. Like if I jumped out and you saw a big Dawn to West, where I spun around and there was an equally big Robert Kardashian and it said "Rest in Power," you'd be like, "Huh?" Like it'd give me a minute of holy shit. That's a really nice.
Is this a hologram show? Am I at Coachella?
Am I at Coachella? Or just like, wow, that's a really nice way to pay tribute to your parents. And then I could fucking, I don't know any. I could do some Miss Piggy like karate.
It's fine.
She would fly through the air. And I go down, and it's pitch black, and I'm just in the darkness. And right then, a balloon decides to lose just enough helium that it floats down. A big-ass yellow balloon floats down right in front of my face. I've never,
It's an Asian guy.
Is more like, I've never been murdered by a clown, but I bet right before you're murdered by a clown, a big yellow balloon appears. And I said out loud, "Not like this." I was so existentially scared, and I was just like, not now. Not like this.
I love that, man.
Murdered by a clown in a Dawn to West Robert Kardashian t-shirt.
What a way to go, though.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be in the paper.
Summertime is knocking on the door, baby. Summertime, I hear the heat. And our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. That's right. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code Theo for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. That's right. Go to shadyrays.com and use code Theo for 50% off 2 or more pairs. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. And what a perfect time considering April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. To help raise awareness and to fundraise for a good cause. Manscaped is partnered up with the Testicular Cancer Society to remind you to check your golden nuggets this month. For anything that's not so golden, make sure your nuts are good. That's right. Support a good cause and go to manscaped.com and use code Theo to get 20% off and free shipping. That's it. To help remind you guys that they have the new special edition Purple TCS Lawnmower 4.0 electric waterproof trimmer. Whew, that's a lot. Get 20% off and free shipping with code Theo at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code Theo at manscaped.com. Make sure to spread the news and tell your buddies to check themselves in Testicular Awareness Month. What a way to go. Wow, man, there is, it really is a test of, in those moments, what happens, There was a famous UFC fighter, this guy, Lionheart Smith, who's an amazing guy. He's from Ohio, and he got attacked in the middle of the night at his home by a guy on methamphetamine.
Whoa.
And he said it was the hardest fight he's ever been in his life.
Just because he had that meth, never gonna give you up energy?
Yeah, I think he had that meth, like Whitney Houston. Is that Whitney Houston, never gonna give you up? No.
Never gonna let you down.
It's Rick Astley.
Okay. Oh, is that what Rick rolling is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's how I know. Yeah. Did you ever do methamphetamine?
I never did, man.
I never did.
I always wanted to.
Same.
Did you ever smoke crack?
No.
Okay.
Did
Me
you?
neither.
Yeah.
Always wanted to.
freebase?
I didn't get to do freebase.
I did. I smoked cocaine.
You did?
Yep.
And do people smoke it out of? You always see that kind of like glass pipe with the smoke stains in
Yeah,
it.
you just do it off of foil.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I get 1 year sober tomorrow.
You do?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Holy shit.
Not trying to make it about me, but
Please make it about you.
it's important.
There's only two of us.
Yeah.
1 year tomorrow? Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
A lot of our listeners are people that struggle. So
Yeah.
it's
What's
a
been
good
you?
group.
Do you mind me asking you? When I saw you, I probably saw you 2 months ago, and you told me you had like 10 months.
Oh yeah.
Did you take time off from working? Like what was?
Like
I
did
got
go to-
sober during the pandemic.
You got sober during the pandemic.
I went to 2 different rehabs,
Wow.
and by December 2020, I was sober. I mean, I was in rehab now.
Right.
But it was weird because it was during this kind of pause for everyone.
Right.
So
What a blessing that it happened then in some ways. Did it feel like that?
did it feel like that? I gotta say, I did not experience the pandemic the same way other people did. I don't know. Like I was using a lot,
Oh really?
and it didn't feel like anything that different. I feel bad saying that.
Yeah, I mean, you
I feel
must
very bad saying that because
You must have been pretty high. You must have been pretty
yeah,
or into getting high.
yes.
If you weren't even doing the pandemic.
If you don't know, I'll say this: I didn't know that the nasal swab test hurt until well after I got sick.
Okay.
And then I got one not numbed up by cocaine, and I went, shit, ah.
What are they
I
doing?
used to get them though. I was like, what is everyone complaining? I just don't feel like it.
Did you? So cocaine you liked?
Cocaine,
Yeah, boy.
Xanax, Klonopin, Adderall, Percocet, Ritalin, any kind of speed.
Oh, so all that speed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I would get so scared at night when I was high on cocaine, right?
Yeah.
That I would be like Googling what can I take with cocaine to go to sleep. And that would take me
Right.
so many hours. I'd look at so many. There'd be like you get on these answer sites and people's like, "You're
You go to
dying,
Quora?
brother." Yeah, yeah. I go to Quora, right, or whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Count down from 60 and you'll be dead. People would say stuff like that, and you're just like, "Oh my."
So you didn't have because that's the thing. I actually, you didn't take any downers.
I didn't take any down, so I would lay there in misery. I would Google like, "Can I go?"
May
to
I
the
ask, did
hospital?
you know about downers?
I guess I knew about them, but I just had never taken them, and I was so scared to mix something with cocaine because I would die. It would
okay.
kill me. That's what I was fearful.
That
of.
was your worry, yeah.
I
I kind of thought if I didn't have the right balance, yeah, I was more like if I don't have enough in the right amounts, then something bad could happen. But as long as I'm balancing Coke and Adderall with Xanax and Klonopin, I'll be just fine. I remember I walked into my intervention. I'd just been to my drug dealer's apartment, and I finally got the right balance. One pocket, all Adderall and Coke. One pocket, all Xanax. And I was like, I have done it. I reached equilibrium. Open the door. Bunch of people. Yeah. It's okay, though.
Were you high when you went to your?
Yes, but I was insisting that I hadn't used drugs in days. I went, look, I am sober right now. Look at me. I am sober right now. I kept saying.
And were you good enough to convince those people that you were?
No, I was pretty strung out by then, so it didn't. I could present really well for a long time.
Yeah.
But I reached a point where it was just off the rails.
I'm seeing that about you. You're a very good presenter.
A doctor at rehab was like, it scares me how good you are at presenting like everything's fine. Yeah. So were you, when you got sober a year ago tomorrow, were you busy with all this shit you do?
I was in my garage, and I was just miserable. I wasn't even using drugs really. I was drinking some. I was burnt out and exhausted, but I just had no program.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally, I was just crying to my brother. I was like, man, I just can't live. I just can't live like this. And I know it sounds like such a weak thing to say, but that's just where my mind was, you know?
What do you mean? Why is that a weak thing to say?
I don't know. There's something about it when you like look and you know that you have food and you have shelter, to be in a space where you're like, to feel like something is wrong with you that you can't fix, I guess. Or if you're just someone who likes to have control and thinks you manage well and you're capable, there's some real thing that feels like almost weak. And I'm not saying it is weak, but it feels weak sometimes to be like, something's wrong with me and I can't, there's nothing I can do about it.
I felt like something's so wrong with me that I've overridden, like, because we're designed to survive. I'd overridden the desire to survive. Like when you're like, when you want pills and drugs more than you inherently want to like make it through the day, that's some weird reverse evolutionary shit. For your brain to basically be able to run the scenario and go, we haven't slept in 4 days. We chain smoke. We eat Sour Patch Kids. We never drink water. We're blowing tons of coke. This isn't going to last. And you go, I think we're going to keep going. I think we're going to keep doing this.
So you were deep in. How'd you get so deep in? Because I don't think anyone would look at you and think this is the coke guy.
Good. That was the whole thing. I mean, I certainly tried to talk about it on stage as having had like a drug and alcohol problem, but it just, it didn't. Something about me seems. So to me, it's like, well, of course, the guy that seems like he has it all together has the problem, because that's just like how life is.
That's Texas. Yeah, it's almost like
it's textbook.
Yeah.
But that's I don't put that on other. I don't put that on you to be like, how come you didn't see it then? Because I really thought that I was doing life. I was able to achieve it life with the drugs as opposed to in spite of them. It took me a long time over the past couple of years to realize that I did well at what I do in spite of drugs, not because of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be fun. Yeah, from an outsider, I would always look at him and be like, oh, that guy, yeah, drugs would not help that guy. Like, that guy is his own, he is so unique in his own way that anything to, abase that or something, or debase that would only mess him up.
But I would have thought like, I'm delivering something people really like, and I think I'm delivering it because I take 2 30 milligram Adderalls and then 1 Z-bar, and so I'm really sharp, but I don't seem jittery. And so I go on a podcast, or I go on a talk show, and I'm delivering, and I'm giving people what I'm naturally good at, but I'm a little tired, so I can't naturally do it. So it's okay. It's okay to rip open time-release Adderall and dump the beads down my throat, and then pop a Klonopin, because then I will get to the level that I naturally am at. Like, I just got to deliver what I'm good at, and right now we're running on a lean mixture. And it used to be easier, but now it's harder. So whatever I'm putting in my body to get to that is fine. That's like a acceptable.
You're like your own. You're like your own Geppetto almost in a weird way.
Let me think about that. How do you? In what way?
Like you were. Because if you were kind of running, if you wanted to get yourself, you were a little burnt out. You're trying to get yourself to the place where everybody loves you at, and where you know you operate best at. So
I wanted to be like, I'd see myself. You ever see? Sometimes I see a clip and be like, I need to be like of myself. And be like, I need to be like that guy.
Oh yeah.
How do I get? That guy's confident. Has a bunch of things to say.
Yeah.
How did he get the? How did he have the thoughts?
Oh yeah, I thought, look, man, I miss my old self sometimes.
Your using self?
No, just myself like a few years ago.
Yeah. There was some, that's what I was chasing something. There was some moment, maybe, like 2007. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, I had some electricity in my eyes.
Yeah.
Where,
wow, it's so
I got to get back to that. And I just got to get back to that. And I just got to get back to that.
Yeah. Somehow it'll happen.
Somehow I'll find the right amount. For real, you know, like
I'm 100% serious. That's what I think all the time. I look at old things and I'm like, oh man, I miss that guy.
Yep. That's a really entertaining person.
Yeah.
And I don't even put it on. I don't even mean like, and people demanded. I'm not acting like I couldn't have taken a break, and not like the audience demanded this. Not at all. It was what I wanted to do. It's what I wanted.
Oh yeah. I don't get that perception.
Yeah. No. Okay.
But it's interesting. Yeah, I wanted to get back to. I wanted to feel back to myself. I wanted to be like, that guy was so creative and original.
I know.
Now I think some of
it. To take drugs because you want to feel like you're 12 or 13 again.
It's a little messed up.
It's a little messed up. Yeah.
But it also makes sense, I think, if you, for me, some of that goes back to, I think I felt like I missed out on some childhood, so part of me wants to get back to that. I think there's some psychology.
Missed out on it.
Just missed out on like having some moments of childhood that would have felt more comfortable and fun.
Okay.
But I think part of it is, I used to like the element of surprise when people didn't know me. You had an element of surprise to people.
Yeah.
And there was something that was nice about that. It was like it made you be able to be the only one who presented you to people.
Yeah.
And then as you get more popular, I think is the term that I'll use, or where people have seen more of you, then there's some expectations or the thing of surprise, which made me feel like unique, that I could just be the controller of me.
Yeah.
That goes away because people have already seen you and have some interpretation of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this all may sound really egomaniacal, but that bummed me out a little bit, because I think the only thing I ever felt like I had when I was growing up was myself.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be able to authentically present that as much as I could.
Yeah.
And that goes away as you get more people have seen you. Does that make any sense?
100%.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know what it means.
Dude, people used to have stage names for a reason. Because, they could go home and be like, Johnny Starlight is the guy on stage. John Mulaney is me, the person who the person. Like, I gotta say, I don't, there's some real destructive part of me that I've worked on a lot, but I wouldn't say I have low self-esteem day to day, which is a really nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem like you do either. So it becomes like, I like myself. If you like yourself and then yourself is out there in the world and they seem like, you just got to think of them as two different things. I'm not saying this that articulately. People had stage names because they could be like, well, that's something else.
Right.
That's not me. That's not the little kid I was.
Right. Yeah, I think
probably comes from like, those people would have fake names because they'd read a review of themselves and it wasn't their real name. So they'd be like, oh, that's not me.
Right.
That's a thing.
Now it's hard. Now everybody knows everything about you.
Yeah, within reason, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to detach. It's hard to keep some things to yourself. It's even hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
though, I mean, whatever people put out there is also...
Right, who knows if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But it's like it used to be like I remember we loved Michael Landon growing up, right? We had drawings of him, and once a year,
Yeah, you have Highway to Heaven behind you.
Oh, yeah.
We meaning your family?
I mean, it's whatever political party builds that, dude, I'm voting for him, I'll tell you that.
He was dying through my whole childhood, it felt like. Like Michael Landon, like I just remember being a kid and being at the supermarket and like every National Enquirer was like, Michael Landon's final battle. And I was just like, is this person, I didn't even know he was an actor. I thought he might be famously ill. Like just a guy in a jean jacket who was always sick. Because I never saw Bonanza till like it was on Nick at Night. And then, there he is.
God, look at him.
So what you were into Michael Landon from Bonanza?
We loved him from Little House on the Prairie.
Oh,
God, we loved him.
And what's crazy? One of the first times I learned about drug withdrawal was from Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, I know what episode you're talking
about. The opium episode.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy, that episode? I know nothing about Little House on the Prairie, but I saw that once. I think Michael Landon stays up with the kid who's on opium and
look
he
that
sweats it out. It's like Basketball Diaries level.
It really is.
In the middle of whatever the hell else used to happen on that show, Cook and Stew or whatever.
Walnut Grove, yeah. A lot of that's when Pink Eye, you would lose a twin to Pink Eye. I remember one episode they
Twins
had.
would be born with pink eye, and it was a real.
Oh, you
real
lose
problem.
one. Yeah, there it is. That's Albert Ingalls right there. He was addicted.
Was that character? So I know nothing about the show. Was that character's whole deal? Was that he was a morphine addict, or was that just a special episode?
No, he was adopted, and so he had this kind of interesting space. He was always kind of could play this outsider character. But he was a friend of their daughter. He was a friend of the daughters.
Okay.
Albert Ingalls. I saw Nellie Olson one time at a Starbucks.
Who's that?
She was the blonde on the show.
Okay.
She was kind of like.
I really only know the opium episode, but
okay.
But she's the daughter,
and I was excited.
That's really cool.
I know she wasn't excited to hear me tell her.
I saw the little woman that remember the principal in Kindergarten Cop. She's a smaller woman.
Let me think.
Her name's like Linda.
Not Linda Ronstadt, huh?
No, not Linda Ronstadt, the singer.
Linda Hunt.
Linda Hunt, thank you. I saw her at Bristol Farms. I was excited. There she is.
Ooh.
Remember, she goes, "What did it feel like to hit that SOB?" Yeah. Anyway, I saw her at Bristol Farms. That just made me. I just thought of that when you said you saw Nellie Olson.
Yeah, Nellie Olson.
So why did you bring up Michael Landon? I'm sorry, I took us on a.
We used to love him, and we would draw every year. Mom would usually at Easter, honestly, we would draw a picture of him, and whoever draw the best picture would get a candy or something from Mom.
Wait, you and your siblings would do this?
Yeah, and whoever would draw the best picture of him would get a candy or something from Mom, and he was supposed to come to town one year or something at the fairgrounds or something.
Where'd you grow up?
In Louisiana.
Okay.
But something happened. There was a storm or something. And he couldn't come. And
shit.
All the women's hearts were broken, man. Mom went down there, and it was our big, Mom's going to meet him,
Oh, man.
And
Did you guys bring the pictures to show him?
No, we didn't go.
Oh, it was just women only.
Yeah.
Adults only, Michael Landon meet and greet at the county fair.
Yeah. And I just remember Mom coming home, and it just was sad.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, it just made me think you couldn't know any more about an actor or character at that point. They were almost just their character. And yeah, if you saw some tabloids, you could learn some stuff behind them, but you didn't. It's hard to even. Now
I didn't even know about his career. That's how little I knew about Michael Landon. I just thought this man is battling cancer on the regular, in all denim.
Yeah.
I thought Highway to Heaven was. I don't mean this as a joke.
No, not at all, man.
I thought Highway to Heaven was not a documentary, but I just was. It was he was always dying, and then he had this show called Highway to Heaven, and I just thought they were somehow. I was like, oh, this is just someone we're all watching go through the final stages of life.
Yeah.
And it turned out he had a big acting career.
Yeah. This guy's in traffic to get to heaven. How long is it going to take this guy to get to heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we missed. That was a bummer for us. When you look back, so were you surprised that you were an addict, or did you know you were an addict?
I had skin deep self-awareness of I have a drug problem. I love drugs. I like them too much. I don't like them the way other people like them. It's not oh, that was fun. Let's do that again in 2 weeks. Yeah. This was I think plan for the morning should be to get more of that. Wow. I knew I liked them more than other people, but no, not to the depths that it was. What do I mean to say? I had a surface level awareness, and I would joke about that and say, oh, I got sober in 2005, which I did, but I slowly got back into pharmaceuticals over the next, 13, 14 years. Prescribed, then not prescribed, or prescribed, then abused, but prescribed, then bought on the street, then everything.
Were you buying them off of Craigslist and stuff like that? Even?
No, I always thought that might be cops.
Smart. And it's pressed pills. It's a lot of I have friends that.
Oh, this was even before I had an awareness that there might be fakes out there like that. Yeah. I definitely bought Adderall a couple times and snorted it and thought, what is this?
Yeah. Oh, I bought a whole thing of something one time and did it all, and it wasn't.
It wasn't cocaine.
Nope.
Oh God. Ugh.
And I don't know what it is, and I still imagine one day I'm gonna walk past a chemical and it's gonna connect a little.
Oh, you'll smell it
or something.
You'll smell a chemical, and you remember that was what you bought.
It'd be like, oh, it was me, or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's the realization that I actually had no control over this took a long time. Wow.
It's a hard thing for people to convince. It's a hard. I mean, I still struggle sometimes, even if I sit in a meeting, and there's still part of me that doesn't want to say I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Or an addict.
To me, I go, it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it. It's not that I'm like, it's not that just that cocaine's addictive, and when I do it, I'm addicted. It's a different thing. I use it in a different way, and the way I see it, my relationship with it. It's just.
Yeah, I kind of have a romance. It's like I romanticize it.
100%.
I romanticize everything in my life.
Me too. Yeah. Do you think you're in a movie?
No, I don't. I do think I'm in like one of those fun houses sometimes, but the fair is fucking closed, you know.
Oh wow!
And it's
just the storm came, and Michael Landon came.
Michael Landon canceled.
Who's the first famous person you ever met? Michael Landon canceled.
Let me think of who it was. It's a great question. Probably the DARE officer at our school, but he wasn't like nationally famous. But he was.
How famous was he?
He was like the biggest guy they ever made in the whole world. And
what do you mean?
When the car would pull up, like I remember one time he like shot people from the car. He couldn't even get out of like the officer's vehicle or whatever. He was a huge man. He
was a big fella.
He was an obese man,
and he would come to speak about DARE.
Yeah.
And he got out of the car.
But there were tales with him at crimes where he'd just pull up and just start popping off, because he couldn't. At some point, he couldn't even get out of the vehicle.
Oh, so he'd fire from the vehicle, open fire.
So he was like, in our area, he was pretty popular. Ronald Reagan.
Was his name?
No, that'd be crazy.
He also happened to be named Ronald Reagan.
The first famous, I don't know, there was this, like.
Did you see Reagan somewhere?
No, but we built the tallest statue of Ronald Reagan in our town. And
Whoa.
He was supposed to come and he didn't come. I just
Wait a minute.
realized this.
You built the tallest statue of Ronald Reagan in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Or in the world?
10 foot tall. Look it up, Zachary, please. Tallest statue of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan. Covington, Louisiana.
There you go.
God damn. That's not a bad statue.
I thought they did pretty good.
You know what I would do if I was putting a photo on this website is I'd show how tall it is.
Yeah.
As opposed to these photos.
That's a great point,
See
actually.
it in a cowboy hat.
And it's supposed to be real bronze, but that's like some of it could be a rumor, but.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so, okay.
Ooh.
Look at the, oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's huge.
Yeah, they did a good job. Pistol Pete Maravich lived in our town, and so his sons went to our school.
Were they good at dribbling and stuff?
They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
That's a good movie.
It is good. Yeah. Ian Somerhalder, do you know who that is?
That sounds really familiar.
He's an actor. Can you look him up, Ian Somerhalder? He went to our school, and he was like the most beautiful guy that ever existed in the world. And he would just come to the first day of school.
Oh, yeah. I do know. Oh, that guy's got light eyes like a husky does.
Yeah.
Like those dogs with the light eyes.
Oh, yeah, like Riff Raff would own this guy. But he would come to school the first day just so all the girls knew that he was like in town, and then just go off and be like a supermodel. But he would always come the first day of school.
Oh, so then you ditch the rest of the. You used to be like, I exist, and then he would ditch the rest of the year.
Yeah, he was like a kind of
no dummy.
No, he was smart. He knew how to do it. But he was almost too handsome to even exist. Kind of, like he was just that Dracula handsome.
Yeah, I remember as a kid not realizing that people disliked Ronald Reagan. Like I remember being like, that's the president, so everyone likes him.
Yeah.
And then this kid in class, Matt Murphy, he told me Ronald Reagan hates poor people. And I said, no, that'd be impossible. He's the president. And he's like the best person in the world. Yeah. I did not have nuanced political views at that time.
Yeah. Me neither. I think, if I thought somebody was the president, then they just cared about everybody.
Yeah, it was an outlandish charge.
Yeah.
To go from I was clocking him as best person in the world. Now to find out he especially doesn't care about poor people.
Yeah. You know, Morgan Wallen's on tour, and so is Suicide Boys. I love both of them. Jessie Murph is touring. I like her. I like a lot of different bands and performers. Parker McCollum, all of that. And that reminds me, actually, SeatGeek, with over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. For sports, we got the NBA and NHL season in full swing. For concerts, Morgan Wallen, Drake, Beyonce. Look, they put all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you're getting a good deal at SeatGeek. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event with swaps. And you know, I came through for you guys. Use my code Theo for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code Theo. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. You know what's free right now is Gamer Subs. That's it, Gamer Subs. It's the best alternative to traditional energy drinks and sugar-loaded beverages. This is an alternative to those. Gamer Subs GG Energy is a zero-sugar, keto-friendly source of caffeine that gives you the energy you need without worrying about a crash later. No crashing. Gamer Subs has lots of cool flavors like Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000 and Titty Milk and more. That's right. Claiming free samples is easy. Just go to the link gamersubs.gg/Theo Von, which will take you automatically to the free sample packs. That's it. You can get a free sample of Gamer Subs on their website. So for the next 24 hours, if you use code Theo Von at checkout, you will also get free shipping and a custom Theo Von sticker for the first 1,000 people to order the samples. That's right. Go to www.gamersubs.gg/Theo Von and use code Theo Von to get free shipping on free samples for the next 24 hours. I'm trying to think of who was the first famous person that you met. Because you've run in some pretty famous circles now.
Well, but as a kid,
And you're from where? You're from
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we grew up in the city.
Mike Ditka, maybe? Did you see him?
You know, I'm trying to. I feel like I saw
Chris Chelios,
Jim McMahon somewhere, but I can't. I can't swear. Who was the first I ever saw? Jim McMahon, or was he just so famous I felt like I knew him? That was a weird thing about growing up in Chicago in the late 80s, early 90s, is I just thought that wherever I was, the best basketball team would be. Like I kind of associated it with my own.
Well, yeah, and have it
with my own presence.
And moved to LA. Wow, that's crazy. Dude.
I was just like, well, of course, like and everywhere we go on vacation, and people would be like, Chicago, Michael Jordan. I'd be like, yeah, I know. Like, we got it. We did it. We got it. We got it covered.
And then you moved to LA.
And then I moved to New York. Well, also the Bulls just,
they were so good.
97, 98, 99.
I saw BJ Armstrong at my gym.
Wonderful, wonderful guy.
And I love seeing him.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm like, I know it's you. And he's like, you've told me that 7 times.
He's out here in LA?
Yeah. He's an agent, I believe, at a sports agency. But super nice guy. I think he went to Iowa or Iowa State for college. But I would get so excited seeing him. America loved that team, though. I mean, unless you were like in Cleveland or New York.
I met Barkley once, or I met him twice because he hosted Saturday Night Live a couple times. Did he only host once? No, he hosted twice, but I was only there the one time. And I asked him about the Dream Team because with Barkley, like we weren't going to write together. So Tuesday night, the host would walk around the different offices And Simon Rich, this writer, and I that work together a lot, we just asked him, what was the dream team like? He went, oh man, if you ever get a chance to go to the Olympics, do it. I was like, okay, I'll make sure to. But he told me, he goes, we would beat those guys by 100 points, and then they'd ask for photos. He was like, it was the greatest time ever of anyone doing anything.
That's awesome. Larry Bird was on there.
Yeah.
John Starks. Horace Grant made that team, remember?
Yes, he did. 92.
David Robinson.
Horace Grant made the team. David Robinson. Scottie Pippen. I don't know if Horace made it.
Right, he did.
Scottie.
Yeah, Scottie Stockton, Clyde Drexler.
Yeah.
Who always looked 55 somehow.
Carl Malone.
Out of Louisiana Tech, yeah.
He went to Louisiana Tech.
He did. Christian Laettner was on there. I wonder how interesting that was for him.
Christian Laettner. No Bobby Hurley.
He always looked like the richest guy in the world. You know, he had like the most.
He had it was a haircut. It was just a haircut thing.
Yeah. Let's zoom in on Laettner a little bit. He kind of had the most punchable face in a weird way. Which is a messed up term to use, but he had it, man. He had the most damn punchable.
Was it him or him?
Christian Laettner's right there, yeah.
Christian Laettner, you got the Argentine ball.
He looks a little zooted out there.
Yeah.
Dude, I ended up. Did you ever have a weird scenario? Because I had one, like, I ended up in a taxi cab. All right. Zooted up, man. Some girl.
Where do you mind? Where were you living at this point?
I was living out here.
Okay.
And that's when I kind of like, I had a couple nights in a row where I got really just coked out, right? And I started just. And then I was in New York one night, and a girl said something to me in a taxi. Oh, I tried to give her a smooch, right? And I wasn't being aggressive or anything. She was flirting. I tried to give her a smooch. She kind of like rejected me. She was kind of mean about it, right? Or I took it as mean, right? Okay. And it was fine. She got out of the taxi. There was no animosity between us. It was just, you know, it wasn't going to happen. But then something in my head, like I told the driver, let's go get some cocaine, you know. So next thing you know, me and this taxi driver are getting some cocaine, and then he, at one point, wants to get some hookers, you know.
The taxi driver.
Yeah, he wants to get.
I'm surprised he didn't think it was a sting that you were asking to get cocaine. I feel like that's a lot of drivers actually.
Yeah, I think maybe, yeah. I guess he didn't give.
You didn't seem undercover.
Yeah, I seemed overcover probably. Or I think he's like, damn, somebody better cover this.
You were
dude.
covered, yeah.
So anyway, dude, fast forward a couple hours later, I'm driving this guy's taxi.
What up, boo?
And we're talking about an LA yellow cab?
We're talking about.
Ooh, enjoy.
I'll give you something to look at, girl.
Okay, great.
We're up in North Harlem. I'm driving this guy's taxi, and he's in the back with a hooker. Right?
Did he have the beaded seat thing? How was the seat comfort?
The back seat was pretty nice, I remember.
No, but the front seat once you were driving.
I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty scared. I just wanted to get back to my hotel.
Sure.
And I didn't know.
I would love to be up in that cockpit for a second, you know, of a real New York City yellow cab and just see the setup. Because I never get my setup right.
It felt like
drinks to phone cord to just like, I never feel like I have my console right.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'd like to see how they do it.
I think it felt like somebody had sat in there who had like, it felt like the guy in there was like he was going to leave his children probably.
Oh, okay.
It had a sinking.
Yeah. You could feel the despair. Also, the guy was in the back seat.
That's true.
So it wasn't just, So in terms of his vibe, you had it coming from a bunch of directions.
Right. And then anyway, so I ended up on, and I had to do Opie and Jim Norton that morning, right?
Oh, wow.
So I ended up on the radio, and Daryl Strawberry was in there. And I get to the radio station, I can't even talk, right? I'm just like blasted out of my brain, you know? And I'm still thinking, I was still ducking off in the bathroom. I'm doing cocaine in the bathroom. We're in the stalls at Sirius Radio. Andy Cohen's in there peeing in the next one, talking to me, right? And I'm just sitting there, just blasting up.
Yeah.
And then
I would always kill for the single occupant bathroom.
Yeah.
With the key.
Oh. When you got in there, you're like, God.
It's your office. God, what won't I blow this line off?
Yeah.
I got every surface imaginable. From counter.
The saddest part was doing some cocaine off the
baby changing station. Yeah, I got a joke about that.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, just for you.
Thank you. But yeah, so that was a night for me when I saw Daryl Strawberry. He was on the radio station, right?
Oh, you saw Daryl while gacked up?
He was the other guest.
Oh, wow.
So that was a moment for me where everything kind of lined up.
Could he tell?
No. I don't think. I had on sunglasses, which was weird. I'd been doing well going on this show.
Yeah.
And I had on sunglasses, and I could barely talk, I remember.
Yeah.
And that was scary because my only gift I had in my voice, so the only thing in my life I'd had to express myself was my voice.
Yeah.
And suddenly I couldn't use it.
Okay. And you had, and your mind, which you now had to use because you were going to be interviewed on the radio.
Yeah, and it was real scary. And then also this moment of seeing Daryl Strawberry, someone who I'd always thought was all coked out of his brain.
Sure.
Because that's all I'd ever heard, right?
Yeah.
Was the old stories. I didn't know that he was a sober guy and had his deal together.
Oh, yeah. I assumed he had his deal together, but I did think he'd be able to spot you still.
Yeah, I didn't know what I thought, I think.
Okay.
You know? Which I don't know if that even makes any sense. But there was some alignment at that moment of like me not having control over my voice, me having a perception of somebody else that was false or something.
Sure.
And that just lined up.
And you hadn't slept and you were on cocaine.
Yeah. But that lined up for me that I needed something, whatever that like the what's that thing you tighten with the colors in it?
Kaleidoscope.
Whatever the kaleidoscope is that it makes people have to realize that something is wrong.
Yeah.
That was the moment where it was like,
oh, that's interesting.
I could see right down.
Those things never made me, those like being in Midtown Manhattan, have a meeting, have a big like production meeting on something.
And you could be on
get there half hour late. Desperate to have a cigarette, so like finding an abandoned office and smoking out the window and being almost very much in trouble and it being really clear. Those moments were so about surviving that hour that I never thought about them with any deeper perspective. I never thought, oh my God, what has my life become? I was just like, it would be easier to take the train. I'd be faster to take the train home to my cocaine, but I can't do coke on the train. So it was all just like figuring out the video game of being a drug addict. It was just a scramble for the present problem. And as soon as that problem was solved, I moved it. I wasn't like, I can't believe, I remember I went into a meeting holding a bottle of Pedialyte because I was not eating anything. I was just drinking Pedialyte, doing cocaine. And I was with people I knew and we were waiting for other people to join the meeting that we didn't. And I said, if my nose bleeds or if I pass out, it's because I have a sinus infection. Don't worry. And I'll give a signal if I think I'm about to pass out. And then even to them, I was like, because I'm sick.
Right.
That's why.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the signal too?
I can't remember. Something like I got, Geronimo. Would be a great thing to say before you pass out and your nose explodes with blood. Yeah. that covered it well.
Or timber.
Timber, yeah.
Uncle.
Yeah, I cried uncle to all of life.
To the gods, yeah. Wow, so people just didn't know, huh?
Well, there reached a point where people wondered.
Were you getting too big and were you getting too popular that people were even afraid to question you, kind of thing? Did that
I don't
happen?
think so.
Right.
I don't think so. Because like I've been very lucky with having an audience that's grown and grown, but you gotta that's a certain level before no one will question.
Right. I don't even have that level.
I was
anymore.
on TV sometimes, but I wasn't like,
Right.
I wasn't Steven Spielberg or something.
Yeah. Michael Landon.
I wasn't some Michael Landon who a bunch of yes men tell him he doesn't need to show up to the state fair.
Oh, that's shook us, man.
Did you have a lot of people? Did you have a lot of people around who knew about your problem?
I have family members. It's like addiction is in my family.
Yeah.
So there's so I remember I would drive by the AA. There's an AA room down the street from where I stay in Los Angeles, and I would drive by there, even through the parking lot sometimes. And one time, a family member of mine was like, normal people aren't driving through the parking lot of AA meetings to see what's going on, right?
Right.
So there was something inside of me that wondered, and the biggest thing for me is trying to keep my emotions sober. Like, I wasn't insane. Like, I definitely partied some. I don't drink because I'm afraid if I have a beer, I'm gonna go get cocaine. I've never had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one sip, and then it just gives me an excuse to get coke, right?
Mm-hmm.
But mine was just always like thinking something was wrong with me. I always felt like something, like there's a to-do list that I never even wrote.
Yeah.
That I'm responsible to do. And the pain, the energy, the responsibility of it is always, every day when I wake up, I'm like, I gotta go. I just have to do so. I always have to do something. It's just, I'm trying to prove myself to nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. So that was something in my life that made it tough. That just exhausted me, you know? So a lot of my stuff came from that kind of thing. Like, just feeling inferior, trying to always make, like, I'd fall in love with a girl, and then if I got a date with her, the second I did, there was some other girl. It was like, I always needed more. I always needed something else. There was always a missing piece to me being okay.
Yeah.
And there was never a piece I could find that was going to make it, that would fit. There was no piece out there. It was just, there was something wrong with my program a little bit.
How did you feel at that time? Did you feel like other people and other things need to fall into place so I'm happy, or did you feel like it was on you? You know, people who blame the outside world.
Yeah.
They go, my problem is that people come into my life and create stressful situations. Or that thing of like, if you meet one asshole one day, you met an asshole. If you meet an asshole every day, you're the asshole.
I think that happened kind of later, but early on it was just, I'm not doing well enough. I'm not doing enough to be okay for myself, was what it turned into.
Doing enough, like in your career?
In anything, something.
Yeah.
And it was always this invisible thing. Like, nothing was ever, I couldn't manage well enough to make things okay.
Uh-huh.
Even if I was managing great, you know? And I couldn't enjoy, I was never enjoying myself. I was always caught up, how can things be different or better, or, you know? So a lot of that stuff for me, a lot of like not even knowing who I was, like needing you to let me know who I was, if I was okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All that kind of stuff. So the drugs was just, I think, I like drugs because I like cocaine because I could feel how I wanted to immediately.
Yeah, of course.
Like liquor and beer and stuff, it's like, that was just a bunch of
yeah, it postpones shit.
Yes, I wanted the express train. I wanted to feel right now.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then I would end up being by myself looking at pornography, you know, just geeked out, looking at hookers. Just, it always devolved into some weird space for me too.
And and you're chasing I mean, people say you're chasing the first time you did cocaine. I don't think that's true. You're just chasing you're chasing the first line that night.
Oh yeah, and if I think about doing cocaine, say if I think about it, right? I think I'm at a party, right? There's somebody, you open a cabinet, there's some tits in there for some reason, right? It's a party, you know? And somebody has some cocaine. If I do some in this hypothetical situation, the next thing I think about doing is another line of cocaine.
Oh, of course.
I don't think about enjoying the party. I don't think about if, you know.
No, I think about getting a bag. I mean, I just go, okay, well, all right, now we need a bag of this, and fewer people that know about it, the better.
Yeah. Now, that was a fun thing, too, is the secret espionage side of it. It was almost like you were.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You were like the bad guy that everybody was looking for.
You talk about the Craigslist thing. I mean, there was a guy, it was a Craigslist ad that someone was selling Adderall in LA. The ad was written like, home from finals and have all this leftover Adderall. And I remember thinking, how can I pull up? And I was like, how will I know if it's a sting? And also, I kept thinking, like, this is a pretty low stakes sting for the LA County Sheriff's Office to be behind. Yeah. Like, to want to meet in a recreational park to sell someone 10 Adderall. It's a lot of manpower.
Yeah.
On a pretty small movement. And then I thought, will it help or hurt that I'm a little famous? Like when I pull up, will it be more like, Could I? Yeah. Will I be more noticeable, or will that become a distracting thing? Or like officers, I'm just, you know. Of course, it's not me. I don't know.
Man, you paint so many great scenarios.
I was so late. The funniest thing is I was so late to meet drug dealers because I was a cocaine addict. So everything was always running. And I had a dealer in LA who was furious. I mean, she was so angry about the time. She was always like, we don't do, she had some operation with her sons or something. Like, we don't do this. We don't do this.
Yeah, it's like a family recipe.
It was just like, this is a half hour late. I was like, you gotta understand your clientele. Like, we're not waking up ready for our errands. We're not waking up.
Yeah, we've been up.
We've been up. You have to go to a bunch of different ATMs. You know that. This is a process.
Yeah, I'm on a Pedialyte hotline right now.
I'm chugging Pedialyte, and if I yell Geronimo, it means I'm about to pass out. You gotta cut me some slack. Also, LA traffic is a real thing. I thought taking Wilton would save time. I had a dealer once who preferred to deal in front of police stations on the theory that if he got jumped, he would rather be close to police.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I guess so. Wasn't the most fun.
It's scary.
Yeah, it wasn't a great lead up, but yeah.
Oh, the scariest, like I remember like this guy would always bring his husky with him, right? So the husky would come up to the car first, right? And kind of he's like, you know the drill.
Pause
right?
up, like just up to the window?
Yeah. And you're like, you know the drill, Willis is gonna circle the car or whatever. The husky's named Willis, right? So I'd be sitting in there and I was
what's that drill? What's the husky doing?
The husky would kind of come up and just go around the car. You had to keep the windows down.
Was it to make sure there weren't other people in the car?
I think just to, I think the first time he brought the dog in, just sat in the back of the vehicle.
Okay.
So the dog would get to know your smell, right? And so I think now the dog had like a semblance of, who was who, right?
Okay.
So Willis would come up and he starts smelling, but I was so just gacked up. I was just paranoid, right? And then one time he gets in, man, and he just starts crying.
The dog?
The guy.
The man.
Big guy. I don't know if I'd have been able to know. Maybe I could have noticed if the dog was crying, but I don't know if I could have. But the man got in and wept. And he started crying.
Yeah.
And he said his mom had just died.
Oh, my God.
And
Did it slow down the transaction?
I needed to get that code.
Yeah.
So it was like, I remember in my head being like, for 60 seconds, you have to talk about his mom or make sounds that are sad.
Sad sounds.
So
where's Willis at this point?
Willis sitting in the back.
Okay.
So I just
between you two.
Yeah, kind of like heading there.
We assumed dog's eyes moving back and forth.
Yeah. And I just remember just like making just like kind of sad, like,
God, that's awful.
Just like, oh,
that's awful.
Oh, I remember one of the sounds was like, it was like, oh, like it was almost a little not sad. It was like, oh, that's the worst sound.
Oh, you went through your SFX bank and you just hit a weird one.
Yeah, A through Z of sad sounds.
Yeah.
Just like, but I remember I got to one. I was like, oh, because I'm just thinking in my head, 60 seconds, sad sounds.
60 seconds of sad sounds.
Get to the code.
Yeah.
And the dude is crying, man. It just, so moments like that where you're just like, what is going on? I don't know how to handle this.
Well, I will say there's a lot of factors in that story. And yes, you could have had more empathy in the moment, but he's also a drug dealer who brings a husky into your car, and Willis is sitting in the backseat. So it's an odd situation.
Yeah.
It's not like anyone else would have handled it a lot better.
Yeah, I always took odd situations like that, like it was totally normal, I think, and I still have.
100%. Nothing about that. Nothing about those things. I remember thinking, like, God, the day is. How do people get through their day with all these meetups they have to do?
Yeah. Cocaine dealers, you mean?
Yeah, just or like buying pills. Yeah. And I was like, what? I got a call, but I'm supposed to meet this person at 4. I'm not going to, how many business calls I did on mute, like on a street corner, being like, you said 6. You said 6. You said 6. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I mean, we love the script. You said 6. I was like, it was a real, it was exhausting. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
But it kept you in the moment. I'll say that. I had reflexes like an alley cat. You know, like, could grab this. It was like people meditate to be in the moment. You know, like when people do like mindfulness meditation, it's to be fully present. And like when I was trying to get drugs, I was like, okay, bird, siren off in the distance. Bicycle, that's the second time. Like every single thing.
Yeah, it put you right there.
Put you right there. There was some immediacy going on.
Maybe there was something about that I really liked about it. That it put you right, like, because now I will say this, I've thought a lot about the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment doesn't exist as much as it used to. The moment, it used to be, if something happened, it wasn't recorded all the time, it wasn't captured on a phone. If you had a good story, you had to get to your friends and tell it.
Yeah.
And if somebody else had a good story, you had to get them to the party to listen to what happened to Ron, right?
Yeah.
And that was the only way. The moment was like, it wasn't able to be captured, right?
Okay.
So it had so much value. Whereas now all moments are captured, right? So it's like there is not as much value to them in a way because they're...
Yeah, well, do you think that's the capturing of it? Like, you mean you can get a photo or a video of it? Or do you think that as we get older, we just had so many moments, they become, I don't know, they just become a little less?
It's a good point. Like time, people say that about time. That's a really good point. Like time, when you're young, everything takes so long, but when you're older, it goes faster because you've done it so many times.
Yeah. Like we both get to do really exciting things, but we've done versions of them before. Yeah, okay. This is what I thought. This is what I thought it might be like. Okay, yeah, it's the same feeling. You know,
the moment. Yeah, I think
I never take stock in the moment.
Really?
I never do. I just like
I
never like playing the world's greatest venue, or I never. And then, you know, I can appreciate those things, but I never have. I remember I was down in the bottom of Patagonia in Chile, and it was like all glaciers, 3 hours from Antarctica. I was just staring at the sun setting over all these places, and I was saying to myself, like, try to enjoy this, try to enjoy this, try to enjoy it. Later I appreciated it, but I'm never really. Oh my God.
Do you think that the world is boring to you? And this isn't a judgment of you. This is like sometimes as I think as someone who's been in and out of recovery and stuff like that, I've noticed at times that I looked at the world in ways the world always felt a little bit boring to me.
I used to have that, yeah. I did. Yeah. Or that boring. Not that the world was always boring, but that boring was the absolute worst state. Boredom was intolerable.
Yeah. And it's tough if you have a creative mind, because a creative mind can get kind of bored kind of easy because it can think of different things.
Yeah.
So it has more toys to play with, you know?
I also have a thing, so it's less, like you were saying, you had kind of a grass and greener envy for you always wanted more, some other scenario. I also... Like, I reached the point where I felt very satisfied. I remember I was doing this tour in 2017, and I was on stage at a theater in St. Louis, and it was sold out, and it was a Tuesday. You know, it wasn't like, and I remember when I first went to the Comedy Cellar, Rock or one of these guys being like, anyone can sell out on the weekend, wait till you sell out on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. So I'm on stage, and it felt like the end of the movie Comedian, you know, the documentary Seinfeld. Which, when I saw that, I was like, that's what I want. I want to stand in a theater and do stand-up. Like, that's what I want. And then I was doing it. And I thought, it wasn't a bad feeling. But the feeling was, okay, this is it. This is kind of as big as I pictured. Like, and I'm doing it. And that's great.
Right.
But I had a slight feeling of, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's next. Like, I was a bit, I I started to freak out because I was kind of sad. I was a little satisfied.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I don't want to make it seem like it was a good feeling. It was an odd feeling.
Yeah. Well,
or sort of, this is it. This is what I wanted, and it's pretty cool.
Right.
But having a goal really kept me occupied.
Mm.
I wasn't sure if I had another one.
Wow. Dude, that sounds like a great entry to like a detective scenario. Having a goal really kept me occupied.
Yeah, having a goal kept me moving, and I had reached. Yeah, it seemed like. I mean, it was a very, very lucky goal.
I got an email.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You're right. 100%.
When you think about like so I think that these days there's kind of like can I ask you something else about addiction?
Go ahead.
Okay. I think there's like two types of addiction that I notice. I notice people that are like alcoholics, right? Like they have what is in like the big book of alcoholism. You know what I'm talking about?
The disease,
AA book?
yeah.
Yes, they have the disease of alcoholism. Then I also noticed there's this other group who have opioid addiction, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that some of them couldn't also have alcoholism.
No, but there's something about there's something so insidious about opioids and how they get in people's wiring.
Yeah.
That you're not. I don't want to get into the whole like willpower and disease. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of feelings about that, all of them valid. But you're not choosing to take that opioid. Like that is science fiction level shit, the way it gets into people's limbic system. And like you cannot stop taking them. You are in agony.
And is that
that just seems like some other there should be a different word for it other than addiction, because I think most people associate addiction. Most people would say like, it's not a choice, but you guys are choosing it a little bit. And I don't know. I really do respect everyone's thoughts on that because it's a tricky fucking thing. But with the opioid compulsion to take the opioid, or the opioid dependence, I guess, that does feel like something else sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like they made a cheat code for your DNA.
Yeah, it'd be like if you like handed someone who doesn't like cocaine, you handed them a flower every day with cocaine in it, and they smelled it, they'd eventually want more cocaine. It feels like you're getting into the wiring of people who were just looking for pain management.
Right.
And we're not looking to feel, some sort of psychological, physical. We're not trying to feel some drugged out feeling.
Right. Yeah.
We're not trying to change their state of consciousness.
Yeah, it's almost like they took into a lab and like we're going to find some way to trump the system.
Yeah, I mean, drugs are already overriding your desire to survive in a lot of cases. And opioids, it seems like 10 times more so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. It's just unbelievable to me. It's like, and how our country lets that kind of happen. Like how our drug administration like that. Did you see Dope Sick?
I did. Yeah, it was excellent.
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
It's just like, you think I think it used to feel like when Reagan was in, right?
Back when Reagan,
that there was
never did a thing wrong,
right? But or just whoever. It used to feel like at a time in life, right? And this could be me romanticizing life. That there was a time when your government or some overall governing bodies, like they looked out for the humans, for the people in the country, right? Maybe that's just a crazy view. But it used to.
No. I don't mean. I didn't make a face feel like crazy, but yeah, I guess.
And maybe that was just me being a kid and the Pledge of Allegiance. It could have,
Yeah, I think there's a.
But then now it seems like you cannot count on your country to look out for you or the administrations within your country.
I'd say that
that's what I got out of Dope Sick, kind of. It was like they trumped because they hired people from the Food and Drug Administration to then work on their own board, and they kind of like they made it so they would keep getting these pills like passed, like able to be used.
Yeah, well, it's the basic problem that with harmful habits, I know that sounds like a corny way to say it, but with things we do to ourselves, we have a morality play about it. You know, like, oh yeah, they took opioids for post-surgery, and then they couldn't stop, and they started lying to their doctor, and it very quickly becomes something got set in motion, but you, the user of the chemical, you're kind of the problem. You know, you don't have strong willpower. You would rather be high on an opioid. I mean, and there's, again, like, it's a strange thing. Here's how I sort of feel like, are drug addicts making a choice when they use drugs? This is a crisis we set in motion, but I don't think we're in control of it at all at a point. I mean, this is because it's a crisis whose timing you can't control. Like the immediacy of drug addiction, you can't predict. You have no power over that.
Right.
No, it's that we see it as a story of a bad thing you did. You know, like, I think some people look at Tiger Woods and his pill use is kind of because he had a tragic character flaw earlier in his life, as opposed
Excellent,
to
please do.
the guy that has to
We'll take
perform at that
you take care. Best wishes.
Might develop a dependence. I do think people like to read into the dependence on drugs some sort of, like,
You got it, big dog.
Moral problem.
You got it.
And it might be because when you are on drugs, you make seriously immoral decisions sometimes. So I don't know. So I don't think the country's ever looked out for it. I think I don't judge people for having a harsh view of addicts. A lot of people have addicts in their lives, and you can't just go, it's a disease, and it can really, it's very painful to other people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's a mess. They're a mess.
Yeah.
Life's so hard already. Life's like a table piled high with so much shit. Like when you go to like a little restaurant and a tiny circular ass table and they don't have room for anything.
Oh, yeah.
The table piled high with shit, and drugs come in, and drugs you think are going to solve all your problems, and they kick the legs out from under it.
Yeah.
They're just a mess. They're a disaster. They're a disaster.
What do you think?
I know people use them and they don't feel it.
No, it's some people.
I'm talking just for myself.
Right.
They're a disaster.
Oh yeah, I remember. I got back from that trip of doing the taxi driver ended up dropping me off.
After you did Opie and Jim, yeah.
Right. So then I had to go to the hotel, go to the airport after. I get on the way to the airport. I'm still texting the taxi driver.
Yeah.
Seeing if he can get us some coke. Like, I'm leaving. There's no.
Oh yeah.
I'm texting the guy I've been up all night with, and then when I get home, I had left some cocaine on my counter. I finally get off the plane. It's a miserable flight. You're just kind of rattling the whole way.
Yeah.
You get there. I walk in my apartment. There was still some cocaine on the counter, and I did it.
Of course.
And I was like, I got to get some help.
Oh, okay.
Because I would never. For one, it was part of my career I'd worked so hard for, and then I'm having good opportunities. Like Opie and Jim was an amazing opportunity to be on there. And I was letting drugs were there. It was just like, and if you'd have asked me the day before, would you ever go to Opie and Jim high on cocaine? I'd be like, you are out of your mind.
Yeah.
And so there I was, you know. So it was like, wow, I have no control over this.
And then it becomes, who the hell scheduled Opie and Jim when I'm in the middle of that? Are people nuts? You want me to go to Midtown Manhattan to the Sirius satellite radio building and record this?
When you were growing up, were you a hard kid for your parents to kind of deal with, or do you think that they?
No, I tried to keep my personal life very separate from my family. I didn't want to bring trouble home because that's everyone. I looked at people who would get in trouble a lot, and it's like they'd leave their cigarettes out. They'd tag up their own garage, like whatever.
Right.
I was just like, leave that shit outside.
So you were good at hiding things.
I was like a Michael Clayton of bad kids. I was like a fixer. I was like, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
He's the fixer.
Yeah, have you seen that movie with George Clooney? He's a lawyer who kind of like, I mean, I guess he doesn't fix the major problems in the movie, so, but he's he just is a like, we're gonna get it. There it is.
Oh,
The truth can be adjusted.
Yeah.
There you go. That should be the
Because
tagline for stand-up comedy.
A lot of these sound like the titles for specials that you would have. I feel like.
Yeah, the truth can be adjusted. John Mulaney.
But yeah, do you feel like it was any part of your like childhood that like did you see that like part of your addiction, like, or do you not? Is there not a big connection there?
Yeah, there's. I mean,
is that a weird
I do
question?
no, not at all. I do what I do, and I don't let it interfere with business, aka in that case, school.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't let it interfere with my business, meaning 8th grade, freshman year of high school. And I don't bring that shit home. I don't smoke pot in my parents' house. Whatever it was, I took great pride in having a hard separation between my life and my family, like real mafia like rules. Like we don't talk. I don't bring that home to my family.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because it made my life easier not to.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost got kidnapped twice, and I didn't tell my parents because I thought it was gonna gum up
dinner.
I just thought it was like, I need to be able to move free around the city. I'm 8 years old. Okay, I got shit to do, and if they think, it's dangerous, this is gonna slow me down.
Yeah. That's kind of the voice that comes out sometimes in your material. You'll be telling a story of being 8 years old. You're like, but I need to be able to move free about the city, right?
I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, this is the game I'm in, folks.
This is the game I'm in. Yeah, these are the decisions I've made.
yeah.
These are the choices we've made. Were you a happy kid?
Yeah, I think I was just kind of a loner. I didn't really trust the world, so I got into my own space pretty early.
What were your hobbies?
I like to collect stuff and hide it under I had 3 shelving unit in my closet.
I like to hide weapons under my bed.
Did you?
Yeah, for home invasions.
Oh, yeah.
Crowbar, hammers. Yeah, ready to rock. I was on the 3rd floor of our house. I figured I'd hear. I thought no one in my family was ready. That's what I thought. I saw Cape Fear, the Robert De Niro one. My dad's a lawyer, like Nick Nolte in that movie, and I was like, oh my god, Nick Nolte gets his ass kicked. Like my dad would get his ass kicked by Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Long-haired Robert De Niro would beat the shit out of my dad. So I started putting weapons under my bed, and I was just ready to go. And my whole plan was the circuits for the house were also on the 3rd floor. So I was going to shut all the power off.
Nice.
And now they're on my turn. Now I'm in charge. Yeah. And I'm 10 and I got to grow up.
But you're planning. It's interesting to have almost so many of your own like plans.
It was stressful though.
Oh, yeah.
My parents wouldn't set the alarm. I was just like, you are fools. This is a dangerous world.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one ready to rock. I am locked and loaded.
Bro, I was so scared. Like our neighborhood, like people were like dogs were always giving birth, and people were always like they would always catch men like kind of gaying around, like married men like in abandoned pools and shit in the neighborhood, and people were always doing pills and and getting filing lawsuits down at the fairground because you could go to the fairgrounds like a day early down there for 50 cents. You could ride any ride.
Why were people filing lawsuits?
Because they go do that and then they try to half the people that show up are like laying outside of the rides.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Just that kind of shit. Like,
did you feel unsafe as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, people would drive by our house and like throw rocks through the windows and yell the N-word and stuff. And it's like, we're not even. It's just like
that could be very confusing.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't even know.
Yeah,
what's happening? It was just a scary place, right? And so I remember at night I wet the bed every night.
Sure,
I'd wet the bed 2 or 3 times a night, and so I'd get up some nights and have to clean the sheets and lay them back down, and then if I did a 3rd time, I wouldn't even have any sheets.
What a lonely activity that is.
Oh, it was
little kid in the middle of the night, just when you're washing your own sheets. Just waiting by the dryer and be like, all right,
yeah,
up all night. Maybe your parents know, but
just smoking invisible cigarettes, even.
Yeah, just like,
I gotta be.
Okay, I'll switch them. What a lonely little errand kids have to do.
Dude, that probably was one of the loneliest moments of I would say, my childhood. Not to try to get into self-pity, but it's like, that was something it would be like, man, I hate that I do this because I'm scared. I feel like something's wrong with me. And then I always have to do this by myself, you know? Because it would take, it would take a good 20 minutes if you clean your bed up and then put on some other sheets and then, even if you didn't have to go wash them, if you had to wash them the next day or something, but just to make it all clean, get out the comb or the cleanser and clean the stuff. But I remember I would look in my closet. I would tie a string from one doorknob to the other. Like I'd have to look outside of the windows and look in every corner, just making sure.
Why would you tie a string from one doorknob to the other?
And then I put a couple of bells on it, a couple of jingle bells on it.
Okay.
And then you would hear them if somebody went one way or the other.
If someone was coming into your room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was just like a lot of fear. I had a ton of fear when I was a kid, I think.
Yeah.
And then I guess when you're in fear, you kind of like, fear is kind of a lonely place to be.
Oh, it's very lonely. Yeah.
So you're always kind of you're the one who's looking out.
Yeah.
So I think maybe a lot of that kind of shaped how I was when I was young,
It's probably what hell is. Being very, very afraid.
That's a good, interesting call. Yeah. There's nothing worse than being really afraid.
Really ashamed and afraid is rough.
Oh, ashamed too, if you put that in there. Like,
well, if you add to it, like, I'm in this disaster and I'm to blame for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any issues as you got more popular with your own ego?
Probably, but
because I've noticed those in my own life, It's not a judgment. I'm just curious.
No. And I'm not trying. When I say but, I'm not trying to dial it back. Yeah, I mean,
ego's kind of a scary thing, right? Because you don't really know where it is.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, and you don't know what doses are healthy. You know how some people have like good boundaries?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't allow this. And you go like, that sounds like, sometimes there's a side of me that thinks that boundaries sound stuck up. Like that doesn't work for me. I don't allow 100 people to crash on my floor out of nowhere, And I'm like, put that going. Like, I always, that didn't really make sense, my example. No, like I let me think about that. I feel like I'm rambling right now.
It's
my
okay.
Ego, for sure. Like,
did you feel like once you achieved like some level of success, like, do you think success was your driving force? Like, what do you think kind of was some of your driving force to do stand up and to entertain? Like, where do you think that kind of comes from for you? Is it a necessity? Is it a desire to be seen as a creative? Is it, what do you think? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I have many. I'm trying to think of a semi-interesting answer. Yeah, I wanted people to say that guy's the best at what he does.
Wow.
Me, even if it's 10 people.
Right.
I wanted some people to go he's the best at what he does. My dad's a very successful guy and very, very smart. Very. He had stature to me. He still does. I mean, but he has stature. People would tell me growing up, your dad's the smartest person I've ever met. Your dad's the best attorney I've ever seen. Like, wow. I wanted stature from a young age.
That makes sense.
Which is a strange thing, because what does that mean? That means you've already accomplished things past